Ladies and gentlemen, better late than never. Here I am. Woo! Let's go. All right. Sorry about that. I ran into a car accident, not my own, on the way. Hi. Welcome to Game 5. It's Edmonton. It's Dallas, and we're going to have a good time tonight because it's Friday, and listen, we could be watching. Could we be watching the end of the Dallas Stars here? Could we be watching the end of the Edmonton Oilers here? Game 3 is going to be a big one. Let's go. By the way, I will let you know, I am watching on the Rogers Ignite stream. They're not paying for that plug, but I did want you to know. What's going on, Gripper Nation? Let's get into it. Do we have any predictions for wins tonight? Shall we get going on that? It's going to be a huge one well, here's the funny thing is that every team that starts well in this series doesn't end well. It's the second period that is the determining factor, at least so far. So we'll see what happens. Good evening. No school tomorrow. Yeah, that's right. No school tomorrow, baby. I'm going to tweet this out, make sure people know. Listen, I'm thrilled that you're here. 18:50 left in the first period. Oh, little trip there. Are we going to get a call? I don't think so. Floater in on Skinner. Oh, it's so nice to be here. It's so nice to be hanging with you. You know, I was thinking about this on the drive-in, nurse across the line. 18:30 left in the first period if you're trying to align streams. This is potentially our third last or second last game together because there's only 3 games max left in this series, guys. So that means that Steve Dangle will be taking over for the finals, and he's going to be highly motivated. It's going to be a very intense series, whoever ends up there. Nice shot on Skinner with a little shot on Skinner. It looks like Dallas, by the way, keeps going blocker side on Skinner. They've already got a couple good goals there. And here we go. We got Robertson, Hintz, Seguin, Marchment, Duchesne, Pavelski, Ben, Wyatt Johnson, Logan Stankoven, Dellandrea, Steele, Evgeny Dadonov. Man. Anyway, yeah. I think it's been a lot of fun. We've been doing these together basically every other night for over a month, and I'm gonna miss it. It's been really, really cool. So we've only got a few games left here. We'll see if they give us a 7-game series so we can last the whole way. But I'm just thinking that I was getting a little nostalgic here. Gripper Nation, we got to find some way to keep this going. Gripper Nation will preempt the Dangle Navy. Thank you, Deb. I appreciate that, and I agree. So, okay, who do we think? So, Mega Chronic says that it's going to be 3-1 Oilers. Jacqueline K says 3-2 Stars. Amber Roblox says 6-2, my opinion, but I don't know what team you cheer for, so I need to know. 6-3 Oilers, 6-3 Dallas. Time for Pavelski to wake up. That's from Hank Barber. Damn. Got a question. Is Chris Tanev playing? Well, he was walking in that boot, and it looks like he is. But he was walking in a boot through the airport. Somebody snapped a picture. Boy, these players, they can't hide anymore. There's paparazzi everywhere. By the way, how mad do you think the paparazzi are? That basically people are stealing their jobs. We got Mitch Marner photographed with Craig Berube. We got Chris Tanev walking through an airport in a boot. And it's not just because I'm Canadian, a boot. Want to shout out producer Hayden. Again on the streams tonight. Stats God. Minnesota fan. Minnesota fan, you're thinking? Me too. But he loves the Minnesota North Stars. I called them North. So, Sam Carrick is in for Derek Ryan. Foxa is out. Dellandrea is in. Not huge changes, although I have to say the Oilers did make a lot of changes previous to last game. That McLeod, Draisaitl, Corey Perry line was a real difference maker. And there just didn't seem to be much going between Draisaitl and Evander Kane and Dylan Holloway. But Adam Henrique coming back gives the Oilers so many more options. You know, you've got a really solid third line. Henrique, Kane, Dylan Holloway. Love that. moves Janmark and Carrick and Brown down to obviously the third line, and they've played up and down the lineup. But Janmark had that shorty last game, and Connor Brown was part of the reason that happened. And I think he has had, at a time where they've needed him to have, he's had the best series of the whole team in terms of depth. I think he's been, I think he's had a point every game. Oh, and Broberg is in, which is interesting. What's that? Oh, super chat from Steve Dumble. Tic-tac-toes, here we go. Yeah. Steve knows. Steve knows it's Gripper Nation. 15:50 left in the first period. Okay, we got an offensive zone faceoff for the Oilers. We'll see what they can do here. Draisaitl kicked out. Here comes McLeod. Okay. Yeah, so interesting that Broberg is in on the defense pairings for the Edmonton Oilers. That moves Kulak up and Desharnais out of the lineup. I guess it just, the Nurse Desharnais thing worked for a bit, but then I guess they kind of just got figured out. And they do have to figure out Darnell Nurse. He did have a better game. He had a better game in game 4. No question, assist and that sort of thing. But I think maybe they need a little bit mobility, and Kulak's looks pretty good, actually. This Oilers second line has been out for a long time. Ekholm and Bouchard as well. A little bit of Dallas pressure. Marchman's shot is blocked. Evan Bouchard up. They finally get some sort of, there's Nuge out there with a pass. McDavid. This line has looked dangerous, although last game, I got to say, the Draisaitl line was looking a little spicier than the McDavid line. You know, some days you have it, some days you don't. McDavid's line more often than not in this series has. Look at Zach Hyman go. Damn. Man, Zach Hyman just with the puck possession god here in the offensive zone. Not a whole lot happens, but we kind of like that. There's Kane. Nurse with a shot. Nice move. I really like this. I really like what this third line can do for them. Oh, with a shot. Nice. Good little save by Ottinger there, but great pressure by Kulak and Nurse. I think they both had a shot there in that last sequence. And this third line, I'm telling you, it looks a heck of a lot better than it used to. Anytime you can have Evander Kane on your third line, you're doing pretty well as a team. That's a deep team. Corey Perry, who was scratched for a good couple of games in this series, good to see him back in the lineup. And boy, he was a factor. He was better, although he still hasn't been his worm self. And I'm wondering why. Are they telling him to back it off? Because I can tell you, man, when he played the Leafs, he was spearing everybody. Just a lot of spears. T.A. Nyman. Hey, Adam, how was your daughter's birthday? I just came from her birthday party, actually. Well, part of it anyway. It seems like a week-long celebration, I'm not going to lie. But it was great. We went with my mom and my stepdad to dinner, and Jax was there, and my Aunt Margaret was up from Seattle, and just had a really good time. Everly got to eat cake and had a cheeseburger, and I think she's happy. She's 5 years old now. I have a 5-year-old. I know. It's crazy. It's happened quickly. Jacqueline K, that's a rough D pairing, Nurse and Kulak. I think, Jacqueline, they needed mobility. I think they need mobility with Nurse. And I said this with the boys I think today, earlier today, I said, guys, like, listen, you have Nurse. Who have you paired him with? And it's like, well, here's Cody Ceci. It's like, oh, here's Vinny Desharnais. Give the man some help. Maybe you overpaid him, but you overpaid him. Now you got to make it work. So make it work. Oh, damn. Cassie dropping 20 subs. What is up, Cassie? What's up? That's bonkers. Thank you, Cassie. Cassie Clan. VGK Jameson. Yo, hashtag Cassie Clan. The most generous member of Gripper Nation. Cassie Clan. I love that. I love that. That guy from Canada, you'll blink and she'll be in high school. They grew up way too fast. Yeah, the best way I've heard it put is long days, short years. And it really is. And and especially now that she's not like she's not a baby, right? She's a little girl and she has her own opinions on things and pushes back on things and yeah, it's damn. It's kind of crazy how it's gone. It really is. By the way, I'm so glad you guys are all here on a Friday night. How cool is this? We're all here, we're all hanging. Corey Perry's 208th playoff game in his career. That's a lot of games. That's a lot of games. You got to think that it's nice for Broberg to be in, although that was not great. This guy, I don't know, Edmonton fan. Like, if you're an Oiler fan, how do you feel about their development of this guy? Because Broberg, if I'm not mistaken, is a top 10 pick. He's somebody that they clearly valued enough to spend that on. And yeah, 8th overall pick in 2019. This is a guy that's never had a point in the playoffs. He only played 12 games for the Oilers this year. And they need him. And it's interesting, obviously, that when they've really gone for, I guess, mostly the same defense pairings all playoffs. He had a good season in Bakersfield. You kind of wonder, like, when is he going to push his way into the lineup? And maybe tonight's the night to do it. They do need to move a little faster. And I think if the Edmonton Oilers are going to get into the finals, and let's say they're playing Florida. Oh, what a save by Skinner. Oh, another save by Skinner. Woo! Real close there. Good little chance developed by Dallas. That Seguin line has looked very, very dangerous, especially with Rupe Hintz back. They're at the end of their shift now, but there's Robertson in deep. Nobody takes him out. He's tied up, but nobody's taking him out. Oof. Baby. Here comes Perry. Oh, McLeod just missed the net. Whoa, right through the crease. Shot by Bouchard. Ekholm in. Redirected. Nice little play. Draisaitl's looking a little... He's either tired or he's hurt. There's Bouchard. And that puck is tipped up high off of Thomas Harley. Wow. It's a little bit wide open today. I like this. I like this a lot. What a save by Skinner here. Having a look at the rebound. Hintz, Lindell, nice little save, and then Seguin, and I think that goes off of Kulak's butt. Yeah, baby. That was real close. And McLeod almost, McLeod had to, I got to say, McLeod's probably shaking his head going to the bench. You gotta have that one on the net. And you gotta have it low. You're wide open like that. The goalie can see you, have it low. And keep it low. Oiler fan here. Oscar Klefbom's injury really screwed the Oilers. Had to rush Nurse and force him to be a top paid guy. Broberg is fine. Not as good as he could have been in a place like Dallas. Interesting. Greg Jeffries, love the Boston Pizza stream. Not sure where you were. Epic Oilers come back and fun stream. Thank you, Greg. Appreciate that. I was at the Vaughn Boston Pizza, and we did a live show there, and then we did the live stream there, which I thought was pretty cool. Cassie, thank you for that super chat. SDPN stonks. They're going up, baby. They're going up. And it's because of the Cassie gang. Are the Oilers shooting more? Well, they are out shooting, Chris. They are out shooting the Dallas Stars 6-4. That doesn't tell us anything, though. As we know, this entire series has gone through the second period. The Klefbom thing sucks, but we got Bouchard because of it. True. I loved Klefbom. I thought he was great. A little love for Dallas would be nice. Not asking for a lot. Maybe just 30 to 40, 35%. Rita, I think I've given Dallas a lot of love. What kind of love do you need? Is it, oh, there you go. There's a little love right there. They almost gave it to you themselves. Nice little play. Greg Chisholm. Hey, Adam. Always great listening to you. I appreciate your commentary and insight. Thank you, Greg. I'm so glad that you're here. Again, you guys could have been anywhere on Friday. It's Friday, and it's the last Friday in May. It's beautiful and sunny and warm, and in Edmonton especially, because it's so far north, it's going to be like sunny till 10 p.m. tonight. And you're here, and I'm grateful. What was Everly's birthday theme? Everly's everything theme right now is unicorns and pink and glitter. So, as you can imagine, I fit right in with the motif. There's Hyman in the corner. Nice little play by Harley to push him out. Sort of the only thing you can do with Zach Hyman, right? He powers up the booty, and there's not much you can do to move him. But if you kind of get him on the off, don't let him get in front of the net. Get him on an off skate or something like that. Bane, I'm sober tonight. Well, that's great. Me too. Caffeinated. That counts, right? Definitely caffeinated. Had a double espresso from my Nespresso on the way here and was listening to a podcast. Just getting fired up, you know? Meme Empress. Where's the glitter, Adam? Well, I'm sure it's all over the floor at home somewhere. Did you have unicorn birthday hats? We didn't. We didn't have unicorn birthday hats. We should have thought about that. You know, I got to be honest with you guys. You know, I remember my single days when it was just me. And the difference now between that, what's crazy is the amount of bobby pins per capita. Not bobby pins. What are they called? You know those hairpins that are like, they're like this long and they're black? You know what I'm talking about? Also, our cat really likes playing with them. My wife brought the cat to the relationship. So it still feels weird saying that he's also my cat, but he is my cat. And his name is Teddy, and he's big and white and fluffy. And I'm allergic to him. And yeah, he likes to play with them. And I just find these little hair clips and pins and things everywhere all the time. It's like a little minefield between Teddy playing with them and they're falling out of hair, and Everly's hair is falling out. Long hair, you notice when it comes out. Natalie's hair, it's just chaos at home, but very clean. They are called hairpins, Adam. Bobby pins. Jacqueline, that's the one I was talking about. Bobby pins. Bobby pins from the SDPN account too. By the way, Robert, I believe, is doing the chat for SDPN tonight. Am I right? It's Robert. Okay. Hi, Robert. Adam, what's the small thing about hockey that you would change personally? I hate games ending with puck intentionally pinned on the board, so I'd whistle that down sooner. I've said this a lot. I think in the regular season, if overtime ends in a tie, neither team should get a point. And it should be 10 minutes, 3-on-3. The only way that you can stop teams from ragging the puck is threaten them with no points. You go all the way to the game and you get 0 points. And you're not going to have anybody ragging the puck. And you're seeing it now. Like the Leafs, especially if they don't win the opening faceoff, they're garbage in overtime. They're terrible. They can never get puck possession back because the other team just kind of rags it and hopes to take them to a shootout because the Leafs aren't good in a shootout. And I think we should get rid of the shootout. I think they're boring. I don't know. I guess they're exciting if you're there. I don't love them. Never have. And I think you challenge the teams. Okay, fine. You're going to rag the puck. Well, you're going to get no points. And so you'll have played 70 minutes of hockey. And if you're messing around with it, you will get no points. And I think you have a lot of teams go, we want to get those points. And by the way, you should absolutely not get a point for going to overtime. What is that? What kind of loser attitude is that? Why would you get a point for making it to overtime? You didn't do anything. You just made it to overtime. That's not a game win. That's nothing. Ban the loser point. Thank you, Chris. I agree. Oh, Producer Drew's in here. What's up, Producer Drew? Are you in here? People are booing Producer Drew. Shots are 5-4 Edmonton. Fourth line for them is out. Pretty deep fourth line, I got to be honest. Janmark used to be like, when we were in Vancouver series, Janmark was on the second line. This man, being on the fourth line is significant. He also scored last game. I'm shorthanded. There's people talk about how deep the Dallas Stars are. At least up front, the Edmonton Oilers, beyond McDavid, Draisaitl, and Hyman, pretty deep. Pretty deep. Producer Drew is in here, right? Drew is not here. He is simply just catching strays. Oh, so we're just. Oh, somebody just said boo Drew. That was it. Oh, okay. I thought Drew was in the chat. Adam, thoughts on Sam Carrick from Nightmare LLC? I think Sam Carrick's put together a pretty darn good career. For a guy that's a depth guy, and he's a depth guy everywhere he's gone. Woo! Almost had a shot on there. Good chance by Dallas. Okay, there's my 9 o'clock yawn, as per usual. Yeah, I think Sam Carrick is the least talked about man in the NHL. And if you're a depth player, you probably want to be. But I mean, how many games is there? Or how many? Yeah, the Sam Carrick. How many games have you played in the NHL? That's former Leaf Sam Carrick, by the way. Guy's played 240 games in the league over 10 years. And he's played another 200, 250 in the A. So you're making good money. And, the Oilers specifically traded for you along with Henrique at the trade deadline, which is a nice little compliment. And you're playing your first playoff games. He's played. Oh, nice shot. Oh, boy. Oh, boy. We almost had a goal from Zach Hyman there. Little bank shot attempt. It just didn't work out. But, boy, that was a good little play. I like that. Man, he's creative, eh? Oh, and we got a penalty on Dallas? Yes. And it's going to be Suter. It's going to be buyout king Ryan Suter. Hayden has asked for me not to mention the buyout of Ryan Suter. I can't imagine why, producer Hayden, as a Minnesota Wild fan. Yeah, Sam Carrick, good for you. And also, interesting fact about Sam Carrick, and then I'll shut up about him. Sam Carrick passed the 200-game mark in the NHL this year. Why is that a big deal? Well, when you are in the 200-game mark, you get added to the NHLPA pension. So he will have a pension for the rest of his life because he played in the NHL. Once you get to 200 games, that's the pension mark. That's a big deal. I always root for guys to make money beyond their career. Just launch. Gripper Nation never defeats anyone. We just de-shoe them. That's right. We take their shoes and we throw them up on the power lines. Tie them together and throw them up. Oilers have still not had a power play goal in this series, which is hard to believe because they were historically good coming in. But, credit to Dallas. Oilers just did not break it open until last game. Bouchard with a shot, and we have an Edmonton Oilers power play goal, ladies and gentlemen. And that is Ryan Nugent-Hopkins doing exactly what he needs to do. Hyman is like person A in front of the net, Nuge person B in front of the net, and we have a goal, baby. We have a goal. Chris Ripley, speaking of mini, congrats to Minnesota on winning the Walter Cup. Indeed. We were talking about it on the show today. You win the first championship, you get to say that forever. Other people will win championships, but it will never be the first. That's such a weak call. It wasn't even roughing. That's from Sedin Magic 15. Yeah, maybe so, but you got the call. And if you're the Oilers, are you going to argue? I think not. 5:51 left in the first period. I'm sorry I called you Ryan. Nothing happens earlier. Justin K. Is that what you called him? Oh, boy. So there's that new look Nurse Kulak pairing. We gotta pay particular attention to this. The Oilers have done a really good job of breaking up. Woo, that's not great. I was going to say the Oilers have done a really good job in breaking up Dallas's zone entries. And that was not a great example of it. led to a nice little scoring chance by Dallas, and they just couldn't convert. Hayden is telling me that Corey Perry just went to the locker room. I don't know why. I didn't see the play. Shiny Tepig. Let's go Oilers. 97 is the GOAT. He's got to win a cup to be the GOAT. He's the best player in the league right now, but he does have to win. Oh, EV, gifted 5 memberships. Well, thank you, Ev. It's not my Ev. I know that. She's too young to be on the computer, and that's great. It's going to be weird when she's old enough to actually watch the SDP. I would prefer she just didn't. Oh, Draisaitl tried to bank it off the net. Didn't really work, but I like the creativity. Lindell, Heiskanen. This was an interesting defense pairing. Dallas had to break up Lindell and Tanev because it just was not working. They were getting caved by the Oilers. And it was better last game, but then if you look at the Dallas team, they were not better. They were not. Tim Roby Show. Woo! If the Leafs could get 2 of the following 4 defensemen, which would you choose? Montour, Tanev, Pesce, Zadorov. I would go Montour for sure. And probably I'm gonna say that the salary cap counts on this one, so I'll go Tanev because Pesce and Zadorov are gonna make a boatload of cash, and so will Montour. But I like what Tanev brings, and I also think he apparently is just an amazing teammate. So he also will be cheaper, and they need as much talent through the door as they possibly can get, especially for a team so thin on defense, and they are. You know? Okay. Got to live bet the Stars at this point. Kev, what's your bet? Remember, I think you live bet once you see how the second period goes. Like once you see what's happening, you kind of go, okay, all right, I can see it. Halsan Perry, how is Gripper Nation feeling tonight? How are you guys feeling? Hello? How are you feeling? Everyone talking about Nurse when Suter is absolutely the worst defenseman on the ice. Well, there was a reason he was bought out. He was at one point one of the best defensemen in the hockey in the hockey league. You know, the hockey league, the National Hockey League. He was amazing. Man, Suter Weber, what a ridiculous pairing that used to be, and they were both in their prime. But everybody gets old, and Ryan apparently a bit ornery, if reports are to be believed. The man has been playing since 05-06. To put that in perspective for you, that's my last year of high school. I graduated in 05-06. I'm 36. So, Suter, by the way, was born 3 years before I was. He was 21 or 20 when he started. So, yeah, he's old, man. He's old, but he's had a great career. Great career. Don't think he's won a cup, though, has he? He hasn't. Wow. To go that long and be on some of those really good teams and never have won a cup. That's crazy. How deep? Producer Hayden is directing me to his godly stats. Most halfway down the sheet here. I'm looking through it. He says I got to look this up. Most games played without a cup in this series. I'm looking for it, Hayden, and I can't find it. Oh, here we go. Most career postseason games without a cup. Damn. Joe Pavelski in this series. Patrick Marleau. So Pavelski's played 199. This will be his 200th. Patrick Marleau, Joe Thornton, Dale Hunter. So Ryan Suter has played 131 games. He did miss the playoff. Well, here's the thing with the Wild. The Wild were out a lot in the first round. They had a couple second rounders, but they just never got all that deep. Neither did Nashville. Usually they were a second round and out team. This Dallas Stars team, I think, is this year and last year is the deepest Ryan Suter's ever gone. Is that because the Minnesota Wild suck? I don't know. Who's to know? Right, producer Hayden? Hayden says he's leaving. I feel bad for Joe. He will probably never win one. Pavelski? Oh, that's funny. And we got a penalty here. Too many men for the Edmonton Oilers. Now, here's the thing. This is usually a good thing for the Oilers because they usually kill it, and then they usually get excited that they killed it, and they come back and they do some great stuff. Not a great too many men. In fact, as far as too many men go, that's a little thin. A little thin. But, you know, they probably need to manage the game and add a penalty, and fine. Dallas should take it. Listen, the Edmonton power play was not a great call either. It was fine. But, you know, a lot of the time that isn't called. 145 in the power play. We'll see if... Oh, Hint's got to be careful there. If he had corkscrewed opened up the Oiler player, he would have got a penalty. This would have been gone. I'm curious to see what Dallas does here because they have been really bad on the power play the last 5 games. They have not scored, I don't think, a power play goal in this series unless it's... No, they haven't. So they're going to have to do something, and Edmonton just cleaned their clock last game with it. Kyle Calvert, you've been watching. Linesman not dropping the puck. Big shocker. Kyle, you know what's up. Once you see it, you can never unsee it. It just gets annoying forever and ever. You'll never unsee that. Before it, you probably didn't even notice. Nah, Wild have it easier. If you can't win a round in the West, there's something wrong. Hayden, you're catching strays here, buddy. Ev, what's not 12 inches but smells like a foot? Get your grippers onto the Lawnmower 2.0. The Flyers lost on purpose to keep the Red Wings out. Oh my God, that's a lot, Ev. There's a lot of statements in there. 28 seconds left in the first period. Man, the Oilers are just doing a real good job here of limiting damage. 15 seconds to go. Oilers break up a cross-ice pass there. That's Connor Brown and Matthias Janmark, who did such a great job last game. And we got Hyman out of the box. We got 5 seconds to go, and we're going to the intermission with the Edmonton Oilers up 1-0. And what does it mean? What does it mean? What does it mean? Doesn't mean anything. Doesn't mean anything. I mean, Dallas was up 2-0 and dominant 2 nights ago at exactly this moment. What did it mean? It meant that Edmonton came back and scored 5 unanswered. So what we're looking at here, honestly, is it's a precursor. The first period is just the appetizer. The main course, second period. That's what's determined every game in this series. So let's see what it does. Let's see what it does. It means the game's not over. It means it's exciting. Now, we got some clips that we want to play for you. I'm just going to see what Drew pulled out. Oh, you'll love this. This is a good one for our first intermission. This is the Steve Dangle rant on Sheldon Keefe and coaches in the NHL calling coaching in Toronto, not coaching in the real NHL. Now that he's in New Jersey, he's coaching in the real NHL. And what I loved about this clip is that there were a ton of cities that agreed with us, that agreed with Steve. And it's because, hey, what the hell does that mean? For New Jersey fans, what do you mean real NHL? We're a smaller city. What the hell does that mean? For Montreal fans, for Toronto fans, for Edmonton fans, for Boston fans, for New York fans, for Detroit fans, what's that mean for you? For Tampa fans, for Nashville fans? What do you mean? What are you talking about? So have a listen to Steve lose his absolute mind, and it's vintage Steve Dangle, and it's fantastic. Have a watch.
Just one last thing to throw in there. Sheldon Keefe's perspective and the other NHL coaches that reached out to him after he was let go from Toronto and signed with New Jersey.
Let me guess, they were all super supportive.
This quote was making the rounds yesterday on Twitter from Kevin McGran. Spoke to Keefe, wrote an article on Keefe and spoke to him, and this was the quote. "It was a tremendous honor to coach the Maple Leafs," Keefe said. This is in the Toronto Star. "There's a lot that goes into that. I've had a number of well-established coaches in the league reach out to say that I should be happy now that I get to coach in the real NHL. Toronto is quite unique. It's not like the rest of the league." Sheldon Keefe.
Where are all the men?
What a league of losers. Losers. You get to coach in the real NHL what's the subtext? You get to coach in the real NHL where there's no one pays fucking attention.
Yeah.
Can you please send me that link? I have an edit to make to my fucking book. I got to add that to a chapter. That's the most pathetic quote I've ever heard in the history of this sport. No. Put that shit back up on the screen. It was a tremendous honor to coach the Leafs, Keefe said, being complimentary of the place where he coached. There's a lot that goes into that. I've had a number of well-established fucking losers in this league reach out to say that I should be happy that I get to coach in the real NHL. And then he says, Toronto is quite unique. It's not like the rest of the league. Right.
We care.
No one fucking cares.
Well, the Brat Pack
Like,
cares.
no. Oh, this is why no one likes Toronto. No. Bullshit. It's the truth. If it weren't the truth, the salary cap wouldn't be $6. There's going to be an NBA player making more than your entire favorite fucking team in the next half decade. Oh, you get to coach in the real NHL. What a bunch of fucking losers. Gary Bettman should seek out whoever the fuck this is and grab them by the collar. What do you mean by that? What do you fucking mean by that? What they mean, the implication, the subtext is explicitly no one watches the NHL. It's a non-factor in North America. There it is in plain English. Plain fucking English. And anytime you have a criticism, if you don't like it, then just don't watch. Well, no one does. No one does.
And yet,
These guys, the Stanley Cup playoffs are getting their asses kicked by Caitlin Clark. She plays in fucking Indiana. Dude. Because she's a star. She's a star. And the NHL doesn't have those. And if they ever get one, they criticize them, they beat them down, and they don't like them. Standing out is a bad thing. There it is. He's probably quoting coaches who have won Stanley Cups, which means the greatest winners in the National Hockey League are losers. And that is a terrible, terrible place for your league to be as a sporting league, as a product, and as something to make money on, which is the goal, by the way. Welcome to the real NHL. That should send a shiver down Gary Bettman's spine. Okay, where should I put my money? Should I put it here or there? And not that fucking place.
Oh, lots of people lining up for that, Steve. Lots of people.
You allergic to success bunch of baby losers. Welcome to the real NHL. That's one of the most shocking things I've ever heard from someone allegedly working in professional sports. If your name's on the cup, they ought to scratch it off. That's fucking horrible. Holy shit.
It might just be a simple acknowledgement that Toronto is a bigger media storm than the rest of the world.
I also would.
This rant is a great example of what it. Yeah.
Yeah, the comments are be hilarious on this because they'll prove your point.
No, bullshit.
I wish.
Dude, there is a me for every NBA team.
Oh, I know. No, but what I'm saying is that they'll reinforce the point, which is, the poor players in the media. I'm like, well, then watch another sport. Watch another sport. It's brutal.
Yeah.
So
you bunch of give back your paycheck.
You should want to work in a market like Toronto where people cares. You should want to be a coach here
because everybody knows. Sorry.
No, go ahead.
Because everybody knows the person that actually gets it done here, will be a god. And Brian Burke said that when he took over the job. He's like, it's the toughest job.
Yeah, because
he's
not a coward. He wanted the Toronto job. He embraced the spotlight. Firing him was a mistake. It was an enormous mistake. They eventually corrected it. I think they did some very good things. But firing him and then being like, who should we replace him with? Oh, I don't know, his protege? You fucking idiots.
If you
you replaced him with Dave Nonis, you morons.
Yeah.
You morons. Okay, we don't like Brian, so we're going to put this guy who's worked with him for 90% of his career. You fucking donut. How stupid are you? Anyway, sorry.
If you look at the
ratings, hot about that.
The ratings for Leafs playoff games against the ratings of any other team, you'll understand what we're talking about. And if game 42 in this market means more than any other game 42 in the other markets, that means when the Leafs finally reach a Stanley Cup Final, it will mean more than any other market. That's just a fact of the numbers.
Don't tell the Oilers that if they go to the finals.
No, it's the truth about the mass of hockey fans that cheer for this team. So, and you should want to be a part of that. And it's a shame if any coach looks at that and says, I don't want that gig. There's too much pressure. Yeah. It's too much eyeballs on it. No, you should embrace that, and you should want to win here and be the person that can accomplish that.
Here, listen. If you've ever bought a hat, if you've ever bought a shirt, if you've ever bought a seat to put your ass in, if you've ever watched on TV, if you've ever watched a YouTube clip, if you've ever consumed the NHL in any way, shape, or form, just know from that quote, you're not wanted here. No, they don't want you. They don't want you. They don't want you.
No, a select group of people who don't want media attention probably don't want.
Listen, it comes down to this. They want to do their job and they don't want to be questioned about it. That's what it comes down to.
That's shocking.
It's annoying to have to answer questions about your work every day. And by the way, I can relate to that because we have plenty of comments criticizing our work every day. And sometimes you go, man, this kind of but then you realize, oh my God, how lucky am I?
It's so much better than the other way where nobody gives a shit.
So when people
and then August rolls around and I'm like, I wish someone would call me a fat fuck today. like I could use it. I could use it.
Feed me attention.
I'm nom. I'll go.
I'm Steve.
How many calories is hate? I'm nom. I think Jesus Lord, that's so shocking.
It's a loser quote, but I also think it speaks to it is a loser quote, but it speaks to a little bit too the old school nature of a lot of these guys are former players. Yep. A lot of these guys have come up in the NHL
it's a culture
when it was this whole hiding away in the southern markets or whatever. Mm-hmm. The reason that the southern markets were like that is because they were new. I can tell you that. That I don't think that it was easy for any of the original 6 franchises back in the day. I don't think it was easy. I don't think it's ever been easy. I don't think it's easy to coach in Boston. I don't think it's easy to coach in New York. I don't think it's easy to coach in Montreal. I don't think it's easy to coach in Detroit.
Boston never gets brought
Boston's the real NHL. Like, shut up.
New York is in the conference final right now.
Yeah. I don't think.
Are we all on drugs?
And Laviolette, have you seen the amount of reporters at his press conferences?
It's New York.
Oh. Yeah. So my whole point.
Horrifying.
It's also
horrifying.
It's also there is a bit of a. Oh. Don't be surprised as Mike Babcock, who was one of the guys that put together it's not a coaches union, but it's the coaches group, right? He was one of the big formulators. Which has helped them get better salaries and that sort of thing.
Sure.
Don't be surprised as he is one of the primary guys still within that group, obviously. Mm-hmm. If that kind of comes from him a little bit too. And that's...
I wonder what the person who said that quote asked for last time he had a contract negotiation. Was it a raise? Anyway. Where the fuck do you think that money comes from? The sky? It's from people consuming the sport.
Mhm.
You loser.
Hey, what's up? All right, what did you guys think of that rant? It's a good one, right? Steve Dangle knows how to blow a top. And you know what? To be honest, it was insulting, I think, to more than just Leaf fans, right? I know that everybody wants to get a zinger in on Leaf fans, especially right now. And I'm just gonna pull this in. I know this is highly unprofessional, but I just thought feel like I'm a little closer to you there. More crotch. There we go. I think um I think it's embarrassing because it's such a terrible way to sell the game. Like, why is this the only game where people are like, "No, I don't want the star. I don't want to be in the spotlight." That's weird, right? What do you think you do for a living? I don't want to be a star. I just want to make millions of dollars and play in front of 20,000 people every night. Oh, I just want to be a head coach. You think Sheldon Keefe gets the contract that he gets? And by the way, just throw at you that New Jersey could have made Toronto pay like half of his contract, because I think Sheldon was making like $3-4 million with Toronto. And the way it usually works is if you get fired and you get a bit of a raise, the previous team and the new team work out a deal where the previous team pays a little and the new team pays a little. New Jersey just ripped up the contract that he had in Toronto, the 2-year extension that they gave him. So the Leafs are completely off the hook, and they're like, here's 4 years, Sheldon. We love you. Do you think that Sheldon Keefe gets that deal if he wasn't playing in Toronto? No. Or coaching in Toronto? I don't understand. I don't get it, man. I don't get it. It's the same thing. Like the Edmonton thing is, if you're an Edmonton fan, you probably can relate to this. It's like, oh, it's so hard to play here. Oh, is hockey supposed to be easy? I didn't know that. Nobody told me that. What do you mean I have to make millions of dollars a year and it can't be easy? It's hard. Man, I hate that people care about me and that they want me to succeed so they can get a cup too and feel like they're a part of it. Do you know what I'm saying? Just weird. It's a weird hockey culture thing. It's going away mostly. Like I look at a market like Dallas. Got a cup 25 years ago. 25 years ago. Isn't that crazy? And has had enormous amounts of success as a franchise, just not another cup. And I don't know. I don't think people go there to hide. I don't think anybody's like, yeah, let me go hide in Dallas. I don't think anybody in on the Florida Panthers can hide right now. I think people in South Florida are well aware of who the Florida Panthers are. I don't know, man. I think those days are going away. I think hockey's growing too fast. Maybe in New York you'd be safe, actually. Weirdly enough, the Rangers have a ton of fans, but there's like so many teams in New York. So many. Tim Roby Show. So, Adam, if you'd pick Tanev and Montour, would you get them to run a tandem with Wool, or do you choose like a star goalie like Saros? I read a report today that the Leafs are after Laurent Brossoit because they believe that first off, he was very good this year. Secondly, they believe that Joseph Woll is their starter for the future. He just has to stay healthy. So if you run a triumvirate of Marty Jones, who apparently wants to come back, has got a good relationship with Joseph Woll, Laurent Brossoit, who's I think max games in a season is like 37, and then Joe Woll, and you're expecting Brossoit to play 35 to 40, and you're expecting Woll to play 42. I don't hate that. Would it be nice to have a UC Saros or an Igor Shesterkin or, a definitive starter? I don't think not that Igor's on the move, but you know what I mean? Like having a number one guy. Yeah, it'd be great. It'd also be great if Joseph Woll takes that mantle and goes, I am the number one man now. I am the captain. It'd be nice. I'd like that. Kyle Calvert, LA, you'd be safe. With Hollywood, you're almost a C-lister. Yeah, the funny thing about hockey players in LA, though, is they end up dating, a lot of them end up dating famous people. Like Jarrett Stoll. Remember Jarrett Stoll? He
he dated Rachel Hunter, who was a model and was like married to Rod Stewart at one point. Like a lot of those guys end up dating pretty famous people, and I think you go to Hollywood to be noticed. I don't think anybody's in Hollywood like, I can't wait to hide. Oh, Jared Stoll's married to Aaron Andrews. I didn't know that. Good for both of them. Thumbs up. I have a nice set of Aaron Andrews New Jersey Devils pajamas at home somewhere. I can't actually find them right now. Triumvirate, someone who thinks about Rome every day. Jeff, you're right. Every damn day. Every damn day the Roman Empire affects my life because I'm a nerd. It's a wonder I was ever allowed to procreate. Jeff E., because hockey players are hot. Yes, athletes tend to be. Canadian Big Mac, the real NHL. God, that statement was the most insanely stupid thing I've ever heard in my life when it comes to sports. Guys, I have to get you to understand. And we keep saying it, and people are like, no, it can't be that way. There's a lot of loser bumps. That's right. It's a real term. Loser bumps in NHL circles who are old school, and they suck. And a lot of them are leaving. A lot of them are aging out, which is good. The stars of today are a little bit different. They're a little bit more showy, and I like that. And the coaches of today are a little bit different too. But we were talking today. I don't know if you guys saw it. Incredible article by Dan Robson and Katie Strang from The Athletic. A deep dive on Mike Babcock, and I think it comes off the heels of Jim Montgomery talking about how he talked to Mike Babcock about how to beat the Leafs after Game 6 of the series. So he beat them in Game 7. And admitting publicly that you speak to Mike Babcock is not the flex that you think it is, especially when it goes into, like, Katie and Dan go deep on some stuff about Marner, about Franzen, about German Titov, about Jason York, about I think it was not Marcus Harrison's the F1 driver. There's that Erickson in there. Like, it's bad. It's bad what this guy does when he gets an ounce of power. And associating with him, which a lot of coaches do, it goes back to the loser bum mentality. I can guarantee you the guy texting Sheldon Keefe that was Mike Babcock. Guarantee it. Mike was just loving it. And you know why Mike loves it? Because he didn't get it done here. He didn't get it done in Toronto. So now he hates Toronto because it's Toronto's fault that Mike didn't get it done, not because he treated people like crap. And he did. Gregster, enough on Babcock. No one cares. You know what, Greg? You're on my chat. You're on my stream. And I care. And I'm telling you to read that article. So there you go. You know what I also care about, Greg? I care about Connor McDavid racing down the wing. And, not quite. Not quite. Didn't get much going there. There's Ekholm. Down deep to McDavid. McDavid versus Harley. Harley wins that. Oh, there you go, Thomas Harley. Look at you with your, 20-year-old bad self. It's kind of unfair how Dallas just keeps picking these guys out of thin air. You think Hyman left because of abs? No, Hyman left because the Oilers gave him a fair contract offer and the Leafs didn't. Good for him. Which actor should play Mike Babcock in a movie? That's a good question. I don't know. You know who would be better to ask are Steve and Jesse. That's a good question. Who would play him? I've always wondered this. If you did a movie about Connor McDavid, who would play Connor? I've wondered that too. Because they're going to do a movie about him one day. Sedin Magic 15, just watching the members only podcast, and I have to say I disagree with you guys about the Blue Jays City Connect jersey. They're wearing them right now, and they look so cool. Well, you have to remember that first picture came out, and they didn't look cool. And that's what we saw them. We saw the first leak, and I was like, oh, God. Corey Perry is still not on the bench, by the way. Ask CJ. He's the movie guy. CJ is worse than Steve. Steve's seen 2 movies. CJ's seen 0 movies. It's crazy. I don't know how they get through life. And I'm not a big movie watcher.
19:10 left in the second period. Ooh. Miro, you get to that box. Mike Babcock should be Adrian Brody. Interesting. He played a good Pat Riley in the Showtime series. I don't know if you guys saw that about the Lakers. He was so good. Edmonton is going to the power play here. 50 seconds left. 50 seconds in to the second period. It's a puck over glass penalty. The most exciting penalty in sports. And by the way, the Edmonton Oilers got their first power play goal of the entire series tonight. They came into this series with about a 35% power play. It's now down to 32.6. And here comes Nuge scoring again on the power play. Ryan Nugent-Hopkins with an absolute laser. Look at that. All right, Nuge. Damn. Who was it in the chat that said Ryan Nugent does nothing or something? You said that, right? Who said that? Yeah, I don't think so, man. Nuge that's a big goal, baby. Big goal. What a pass, too. And you know the interesting thing with that is Ottinger straight up squarely gets beat, but he's got to watch Hyman on that, too. Even though his defenseman's falling, Nuge could still have found Hyman. So it was a great sort of play by Hyman to just be enough of a distraction. Man, can we get a Nuge hat trick? 2 power play goals from one player after the Oilers have not scored on the power play since the Vancouver series. That's pretty crazy. Chat, Sedin Magic. We got Sedin Magic. You got that? Okay. Dallas is trash, bro. They're not playing great. As I told you, man, whoever's playing the second period, winning the second period is winning the game. It's how it's gone. And I want to pull up producer Hayden, the stats god. He said this: every time the Edmonton Oilers have won at least 2 games in the conference finals, they have reached the Stanley Cup Finals. And by the way, the Edmonton Oilers have been to the Stanley Cup Finals 7 times. They have won 5 cups. And the only one that I can actually remember was 2006 when Dwayne Rollison was just unbeatable. But boy, that team was fun. And when he went down in game 1, I thought, I was heartbroken for the Oilers. I remember that. What a run that was. That was a really special season. Chris Pronger, big games. They were so much fun. Out of the 10 franchise conference finals that the Edmonton Oilers have been in, they have won 2 or more 7 times, and they have been swept twice. Darnell Nurse, by the way, big comeback in game 4. He had 12 hits. I don't know what he's got tonight, but he's looked a heck of a lot better. And I think there's a little bit more mobility with Kulak. I know everybody's counting Kulak out, but I actually like that pairing better than I liked CeCe Nurse. And Desharnais just wasn't. He was super effective against Vancouver, especially late in the series. I didn't find him that effective against Dallas. And maybe that's why he's taking a seat. Oh, Perry with a shot. He's back on the ice. No, that's not Perry. Oh, my God. Is that Perry? Yeah, he's back. It is him. I'm like, oh, what a shot. Perry just got crushed behind the net there, too. I hope whatever's ailing him is not... he's tripped there a little bit by Suter. Producer Hayden's favorite player. McLeod out to Draisaitl. Yeah, you know what's interesting about Draisaitl there? It's weird to see him standing still. He was dead still on that play. Oh, baby. It's good to see Perry back. Don't know what was ailing him, but hey, whatever. We got the 4th line on the ice. There's Brown and Carrick. Man, how consequential was that trade with Anaheim? You got 2 centers out of it, and they're both in your lineup playing center tonight. That's a pretty big deal that they made for Henrique and Carrick, and it didn't get a lot of play at the time. But you look at the way that they've played, especially since Henrique has come back. It's just given them so many options up front to spread talent around, and it really has changed the series. It's kind of like, Rupe Hintz's first game with Dallas in game 3. You're like, wow, what a difference having a good center back in the lineup. And then, of course, Henrique comes back and scores almost immediately off a beautiful feed from Connor Brown. And you're like, dude,
It's so important. Center depth. We always talk about defensive depth in the playoffs, and it's important. Centers, man. Centers. And somehow the Oilers got 2 of them. I don't even remember that trade. Do you guys remember what it was? Okay, I got a super chat here. The dude from Alberta doesn't have his live stream tonight, so I found you. Nuge is awesome. Well, Andrew, welcome to the stream. We're excited to have you here, buddy. I don't know who the dude from Alberta is, but I wish him the best. I hope that he's okay and healthy. Yeah, we've been having a great time. I've been doing West Coast games all playoffs and been enjoying every single one of them. McDavid, you know what? I hate to say it. If McDavid passes to Nuge there, he's got his hat trick. I understand why he didn't do it because it was the obvious move, but Nuge was wide open. And here they go, turning it around again. This line has looked so good for the Oilers. Hyman with a shot. It goes off Harley and out. Pretty sure the Oilers will do a change here. And it's been all Oilers, guys. It really has. There have been a couple of good chances for Dallas, but they just do not have an answer, especially, I think, with the Steve and Jesse were talking about this, and I think they're absolutely right. Why is my brain not functioning? The Dallas Stars play good defense. The Oilers, when their forwards decide we're going to play some defense, Dallas can't get much going. And it really is, really is a team defense system that they play. Oh, it's a goal. Evander Kane wins the faceoff after Henrique was kicked out. Oh boy. It's 3-0 Edmonton, ladies and gentlemen. It's 3-0 Edmonton. Pete DeBoer feeling Pete DeBad about things. I think that was Broberg in his second playoff game of the season. Wow. Nice shot. Ottinger can't see it. And this is where, oh yeah, so Duchesne kind of blocked that, didn't he? That's a great shot. Well placed. That has to feel so good. Look at that celebration. That's joy, man. That's joy. Oh, I love that. What a story. Good for him. Yeah, see, Ottinger, there was some criticism about him this year in Dallas for how he played in the regular season, and I think a little bit last year too. Let me look up his numbers. And I think Jake Ottinger, I'm a big fan, actually, of Jake Ottinger. Yeah, he had a .905 save percentage this year, which is down from his normal, which is like a .915. So he had a bit of a rougher stretch. But this guy, okay, last year in the playoffs, .895 save percentage, but he had a .954 his first full year, and then a .919 so far in these playoffs. Very few teams can solve Ottinger like the Oilers are doing right now. That's 8 goals in the last 4 periods. Yeah, because the Oilers I don't think the Oilers scored a goal. No. They did score in the first. So yeah, I was right. 8 goals in the last 5 periods against Jake Ottinger. Who could have called that? Damn, dude. Andrew Duras, I just got here in 2 goals. I think I'm good luck. You know what, Andrew? We're thrilled you're here. Big goals for the Oilers. This Donnie, Atlantic Canada needs some love. Bring the podcast to St. John, New Brunswick, home of the two-time, how many times? 2-time Memorial Cup champs, the Sea Dogs. I'd love to go to St. John. I've driven through St. John. Thought it was very pretty. New Brunswick is raw beauty. Also, Hayden Matheson, our producer Hayden, said St. John is his second home. Hayden, can you tell me in my ear why it's your second home? So Hayden spent a lot of summers in St. John, I believe, planting trees, which is pretty cool. Pretty cool. I used to live in Halifax, as I talk about it often, and absolutely love the East Coast. Chill, Edmonton fans. I remember the Anaheim series in 2017. Oh, baby. Well, listen, there is lots of hockey left. 35 minutes, in fact. 35 minutes. Do you think Dallas pulls Ottinger on the next goal if there is one? I don't think so. Not because they don't have good goaltending depth in Dallas. Not because I don't think any I haven't felt like Wedgwood's a good goalie. I haven't felt like especially that third one, what is he going to do? He didn't see it. I don't think it was a bad positioning. He wasn't down too quick. The Nuge goal, both the previous goals, the Nuge goal, okay, beat him 1-on-1, but that's going to happen. It was a hell of a shot. And then the other one, the other Nuge power play goal, I'm like, again, it's a power play goal for a penalty that maybe shouldn't have been called. It wasn't I looked at the replay of it. Bleacher Report posted a close-up video of Ryan Suter's penalty on Connor McDavid, and it's definitely a call on a superstar, if you know what I'm saying. Dallas should be mad that was a call. But I mean, Edmonton should be mad that the too many men was a call too. They're both flimsy. They evened them up. I don't know if that makes Dallas fans feel any better. Probably not. Shots are 12-5 Edmonton, and that's part of the problem here. Stuart Skinner, you can get in his head. We've seen it happen. We saw him chased. Remember, he wasn't starting midway through the Vancouver series, guys. Stuart Skinner was sitting on the bench. And Calvin Pickard came in, and he was real good. And then Edmonton went down in the series, even though Calvin Pickard played well. I think it was like a 1-goal game in game 4, and they were down, and Edmonton said, no, we're going to put Skinner in. It's crazy. And they won. Good for them. Andrew Duras, I just won $150 on DraftKings. Bay Roberts NFL is my second home, but I live 10 minutes from Scotiabank in Scotiabank Arena. Well, welcome. We're thrilled to have you here, like I said. Tim Roby Show, I live in St. John, New Brunswick as well, and we have a Boston Pizza. Just saying, you know what? I'll tell the Boston people, folks, that you said that. I'd love to do a cross-Canada tour with Boston Pizza. How sick would that be? Oh, my God. And there's Boston Pizzas in every town. So you know. Chris asks, Dallas ain't coming back, man. Guys, Dallas fans, here's what I want to know. Do you believe Dallas can come back in this game? And if they do it, how does it happen? Who's the guy that kicks off the scoring? What does Dallas do differently to win? What do they do differently from what they've done? Because we're about 30 minutes into this game. What do the Dallas Stars need to do to get back in this game? I need to know. Oh, that Broberg goal, just watching the replay of it. Beautiful. Oh, man. And he just loves that. Happy for him. Kevin Bart says, Wyatt Johnson, easy. Somebody asked producer Drew how his Dallas in 5 prediction is going. Well, he already lost that bet. No, Dallas's coach is cursed. He's awful good at getting to conference finals, though. As a Leaf fan, I can't relate. Rick Bucky. Dallas is probably going to have to cherry pick a little bit more. So cheat offense. Andrew Duras. Dallas has to score more goals. LOL. Yeah, I mean, yeah. But how? Rita Holman. Dallas comes back with the kids. Wyatt and Jason. Let's go. All right, Rita. I like the positivity there. Oiler fan here. Dallas can still very much come back. They just need to adjust and stop doing what they did in Game 2 and Game 3 with the cherry picking. See, the thing about Dallas cherry picking, or as we like to say in hockey terms, cheating offense, is okay, what then? If you're not cheating offense, what are you doing? It's 3-0 Edmonton. You got to cheat offense. And if you are going to cheat offense, do you have 2 men high, 1 man high? And does that affect your ability to turn the puck over in the neutral zone and prevent Edmonton from coming in and getting on a rush and scoring on you again? Lady West, is this the score tonight? It is 3-0 Edmonton. Yes, Lady West, it is. Andrew Rule, Dallas is just too slow. They have no team speed. See, I don't think that's necessarily true. I think they do have some real skaters, but I think Edmonton's done a great job of breaking up their neutral zone. And actually, Dallas just Mason Marchment did a good job stripping McDavid of the puck there. There's Thomas Harley. We're going to get a shot out of this. Just misses Jeff Skinner. Michael, I'm home. Michael, welcome home. If this is home for you, I'm thrilled. Dallas needs to play with more desperation. They're not a match for the Oilers' aggressiveness. That's true. Drew is mostly a troll, does some work for STPN on the side. No, Drew's not on the side. Oh, you say Drew's main job is to be a troll? Yeah, I agree. We don't pay him to be a troll, but he just is. And he's damn good at it. Drowsy Dan. Dallas needs to get in low, win some board battles, get bodies in front of the net. Agreed. I think you get some butts in front of Stuart Skinner. You start blocking him and keep the shots low. Keep those shots low. You can get in Stuart Skinner's head. You know you can. You've seen teams do it. Vancouver did it. Vancouver chased him from the series, man. You can do it. You got to get some stank oven. That's what you got to do. He always calls him Jeff Skinner. Did I call him Jeff Skinner again? Why do I always do that? Stuart Skinner. Is it just goalies where he makes up first names? I think it's just Skinner. 10:28 left in the second period, by the way. Dallas just won our poll, Edmonton just won our poll of who wins tonight, although 31% of people, we had 1,100 votes, and 31% of people still took Dallas. Shout out that. That guy from Canada, Adam, did you ever get to experience Maple Leaf Gardens? Yes, I did. In fact, I got to see Wayne Gretzky at Maple Leaf Gardens, and I got to see the very last home opener at Maple Leaf Gardens, which happened to be Curtis Joseph's first game with the Toronto Maple Leafs against the Detroit Red Wings. And the Detroit Red Wings had just won a cup, and Toronto beat them 2-1. And I just think that means something. Edmonton's defensive structure this year feels like when Happy Gilmore learned how to putt. Potential trouble for everyone else. Declan, you are bang on the money, my friend. I do hope teams like listen, I'm a Leaf fan. You guys all know that. I hope the Leafs are watching, because it's not like these players are all that different than. I mean, listen, I know Connor McDavid and Leon Draisaitl had a league of their own. I get it, but my point is, like, it's not like Toronto can't do this. They just haven't done this. You know what I mean? Yeah. Anyway, don't worry, Adam. Stuart Skinner is your version of Steve's Mikko Lehkonen. Yeah. Rocky Zim, I got to spend a day with the Leafs in 1993 when I had cancer. I got to skate with Gilmore and take shots on Potvin. No way, Rocky. That is sick. And by the way, thrilled that you're still here, my friend. I hope that shit stays in remission forever. Jamie Benn blows kisses to himself in the mirror. Travis Farquinson? It's almost like Lord Farquaad. I don't think Tanev has played much in the second period. That's not great for Dallas, because he's been relatively good for them throughout the playoffs, although this series not the best. Rocky Zim, I met Pat Burns and the whole team. Damn, that's great. Tate Clark, Toronto has to go through a much harder playoff schedule, from an Oilers fan. Damn, Tate. You can't say that and be an Oilers fan, can you? I won't tell anyone else in Edmonton you said that. You imagine the Edmonton media got a hold of that quote? What do you think? What do you think Speck and Jason Gregor and all those guys would do with that? There'd be so many articles. So many articles. Jamie Benn is a Slytherin. Yo, that's true. Are the Dallas Stars Slytherin? Okay. There are 4 houses in Harry Potter. Slytherin, Ravenclaw, Hufflepuff, and Gryffindor.
if the Dallas Stars are Slytherin, because Slytherin are green, what's everybody else? Who is Hufflepuff? Is it New York? Because Hufflepuff is like, they're great people, and we're thrilled for them, and they're rah rah rah, but they're not particularly. From what my perception of Hufflepuff is that they weren't really good at anything. They were just real nice, and they had Cedric Diggory by some happenstance. Florida is Slytherin. Panthers should be Slytherin. True. Panthers should be Slytherin. So, okay. So who's Hufflepuff? Who's Hufflepuff? Because they're like, okay, yeah, traits of Hufflepuff House. Traits of Hufflepuff House. Hardworking, friendly, loyal, honest, and rather impartial. Who's that? Toronto is Hufflepuff. That's not even a question. That's funny. No, I'm talking about the 4 teams left. None of them are Hufflepuff. Nobody wants to be Hufflepuff. Anybody that's like, hey, cool, I would love to be Hufflepuff. Like, you'd much rather be Ravenclaw if you're not going to be Slytherin or Gryffindor. Ravenclaw House prized learning, wisdom, wit, and intellect. I mean, so Gryffindor is an interesting one because they're all about like bravery and bravado and being bold. I feel like who's been the smartest team? Are New York Ravenclaw? Are Edmonton Gryffindor? Are Dallas playing? Dallas are playing a little like Hufflepuff. Look at Duchesne in the box. I mean, you're going to let Nuge get another shot on the power play? You're out of your mind. All right, here we go. Nuge for the hat trick. He takes the shot. It doesn't get through. I do love that they gave it to him off the bat, though. I don't know. Do we have any... Yeah, Panthers. Tavares is 100% Ravenclaw. Always learning lessons. Stop it. Rangers or Gryffindor? No, guys. It's got to be the 4 teams left. If your team is eliminated, you can't get a Harry Potter house. You haven't earned it. The Sorting Hat says, puh, get out of my school. Puh, puh, puh. McDavid on the half wall. Out to Bouchard. Back to McDavid. Oh, and they can't hold the line. Dallas are for sure Hufflepuff among the 4 teams. I agree. I agree. Golden Knights or Gryffindor? No, they're not. They're not in. Ravenclaw is the nerd house, usually. They are nerds, aren't they? But they're like nerds that have to be dealt with. Jeff E., it's almost like Stanley Cup semifinalists don't line up perfectly 1-1 with Hogwarts houses. Well, Jeff, you're no fun. I don't know why you don't want to play our game. 52 seconds left. Here's McDavid across the ice. Bouchard doesn't hold the line. Not a whole lot doing on this Edmonton power play. We'll see if they get set up here. You got to get Nuge that third PP goal, right? Oh, Hyman driving. Good little save by Ottinger. New York Hufflepuff, loyal, keep blocking shots for Igor. Oh, I like that. Andrew Doris. I played at Maple Leaf Gardens, but my brother Peter played in every arena for the Bruins and Ducks, and his last game was with the Stars before he played in Germany. Really? Peter Doris. I'm going to look him up on HockeyDB. Peter Doris. Peter Doris. Oh, your brother was drafted by the Winnipeg Jets in 1984. Damn. And he did play 1 game for the Dallas Stars in 97-98. That's the year they won the Cup. Damn. Good for him. That's crazy. And he played for the Munich Barons in DEL. Also a Ducks player. Had 34 points at one point with the Ducks. Damn. And that's when the Ducks were not good. It's crazy that he got any points at all. It's crazy that anybody scored for the Ducks back then. Wow, that's really cool. Well, Andrew, that's very neat. Welcome to the stream, man. That's a great story. I love that. Dallas is Hufflepuffing tonight. Neil McDermott, why do you have refs crotch shots? Actually, that's Jesse. That's Jesse. And then that's my crotch. And it's supposed to be a Street Fighter thing. Or, sorry, Mortal Kombat thing. But we didn't anticipate when we set up the streaming studio that all you would see were the crotches. I think that we thought the camera would be further away. So, yeah. Now we're stuck with Adam. You know, there's Between Two Ferns. Well, my show is called Between Two Crotches. Just the way God intended. Edmonton are drum string. I like that. Victor Crumb. McDavid is Victor Crumb. That makes sense. 6:32, by the way. In the second period, shots are 15-6 Edmonton. Dallas is okay. If Dallas gets into the second intermission with under 10 shots, what does Pete DeBoer even say? They're at home. Get the fans into it. Get fired up, boys. And like I keep telling you, whoa, nice little play there. Okay, all right. If you win the second period in this series, you win the game. At least that's been the trend. New SDPN show, 2.5 crotches. The Bonk Father, Adam Wylde, between two grippers. You know, has a ring to it. Rocky Zim, 2 guys in a grip. Megan Duff, I think McDavid's threats actually got through to Skinner because they're playing so good tonight. Did McDavid threaten Skinner? What did I miss? Hill Forther Studios. Will SDPN join us on White Ave for a parade in 3 weeks? I got some chairs for you. Man, I would be thrilled for you, and I would love to be out there. I don't know if budget allows this year. It's been a bit of a tough ad market, not going to lie, but we're still working. I would love to go to Edmonton for that parade. I bet it would just be a ball. Pilsner for everybody. Just dropping pillies, baby. Dallas's home playoff record is bad this year, according to sorry, your name disappeared there. 4-4. Yikes. That's yucky. Here's the thing. I don't feel like Edmonton, if Edmonton wins this game, watched a movie once called Between Two Crotches. Only once? Are you sure, Donnie? Only once? Oh, yeah. See, Edmonton again is doing a great job of isoing the puck carrier and snapping this puck off of their stick every time they cross the blue line. And that's even if they get to the blue line. Dallas just cannot get much, like they can't get 4 or 5 feet past the blue line. Look. Cece just did it again. Oh, okay. So Sam Steele picked it up, but still. Heiskanen shot live. Or sorry, live. Shot wide. Gotta love White Avenue from Shayla. I have partied on White Avenue, and it is a blast. Can confirm. You know, nobody talks about Edmonton in the summertime, but Edmonton is a fun place to be in the summertime. Also, the sun's out till like 11. How do you not love that? Nurse with a big hit. Are they going to call him on that? They shouldn't. Unless he dropped an elbow that I didn't see. I don't know what fans are hollering about there. Maybe they're just being fans. Harry Potter and the Chamber of Grippers. Darth Quater, this is amateur hour. The show is clearly called Balls. Learn your history. MKI Sports, 12th inning underway for the Pirates and Jays. Let me guess, the Jays have scored a run and they're in the game somehow. Honest, respectfully, Gripperados. Kevin Bart, summertime in Edmonton is like 6 weeks. Yeah. And you'd be lucky if you didn't get a hailstorm in there somewhere. I remember in Calgary, we got 1 July, we got like 2 or 3 of them. Hailstorms. Hail. But is Calgary the more fun city than Edmonton? I think during Stampede it is. Yeah, Calgary's a blast. But I think Edmonton wins the all-around fun party. But I will say this, Calgary, I don't know if this counts. The mountains are so much closer in Calgary than they are in Edmonton, and being able to get out to Kananaskis and like Canmore in an hour is just the best. And so, Banff and Lake Louise are amazing. Although, shout out to Jasper Park Lodge, also beautiful.
Chris S, this series is over. I don't think it is. I don't think it is. Kevin Bart, I get hail all the time in St. Louis. Is there midsummer hail in St. Louis? Like the big baseball size ones? Because that's what I'm talking about. Like, I have friends that had their cars outside during a Calgary hailstorm. My mom actually did too, and you have to replace your windshield. It's toast. Andrew Doris, if the Oilers and Rangers both win, I have a perfect bracket. I have the Oilers for the cup. Damn. Andrew, I don't know about those Rangers, man. They're looking not so good against our good friends, the Florida Panthers, who I can't stand. Eris Mix 23. I have been homesick with the flu the last few days, and STPN content has been keeping me well entertained. Thanks, guys. Hey, I hope you feel better. My brother-in-law is really sick too. And there's like this weird, and my sister-in-law actually was pretty sick a couple weeks ago, and I think it's probably the same thing, where it's like some stomach and all the ugly stuff. And woo, good save by Skinner there. You want a little better rebound control. Dallas could have potted one there. But 3:05 left, and again, Edmonton does a good little job of breaking things up. Janmark at the blue line gives it away. Back in goes the Dallas Stars. Stankoven, Ben, Wyatt Johnson. Finally getting some bodies to the net. And it looks like Dallas has drawn a penalty too. The question is on who? Just had DVD-sized hail in Texas a few days ago. Damn. Kelly Halter watched every STPN video minus the F1 ratings one. Why do you guys hate the Oilers so much? Oh, we don't. I like the Oilers a lot. I'm going to be hard on the Oilers when they're not good because they're a good team. But I always thought Toronto fans and Edmonton fans had a lot more in common than they expect to have. They were both bad for an extraordinarily long time and now have generational talent. Sylvius the Mad. Has anyone told Dallas they're allowed to shoot? I don't believe they have, but maybe they'll figure it out. Nice little save by Jeff Skinner. That was a good shot off a Dallas face-off win. Really, really good of him to absorb that shot and make sure those rebounds don't get out. Thomas Harley Duchesne with the shot. Oh, and it was redirected by Seguin. And nice job, Skinner, on that one. It was high, but he could just as easily let that puck come out, and then it's probably a goal. Really like that. Skinner seems dialed tonight. Now remember, whoever has won the second period has won the game, and the Oilers have had a real good second period. Let's see if Dallas can carry some momentum into the third here. A goal would be a nice little jolt for them. Although goals don't seem to bother Edmonton too much. If you remember the Vancouver series, Vancouver tied up a game with 3 minutes to goal, and 30 seconds later, Edmonton said, "Nope, we'll take this game. Thank you very much." Edmonton has gone 8 straight games without allowing a power play goal. Andrew Doris, my fiance went to the hospital last night with a sprained knee after we had the fun stuff. True story. That's why I'm late to the game. Andrew. TMI, my friend. TMI. Did I say Jeff Skinner? Oh my God. What's wrong with me? Why do I keep doing this? Stuart Skinner with a big save. Oh boy. Dallas fans wanted that one. And there was a hit from behind, although it really wasn't. Dallas fans want that to be a call. Absolutely not going to be a call in the playoffs. Come on, guys. His name is Jeff Skinner, and he just robbed Wyatt Johnson. Woo! Stuart Skinner, almost called him Jeff. Stuart Skinner, baby. Damn. Why do I keep calling him that? There's Harley. 45 seconds left. Power play is over, but the Dallas Stars got 3 shots, bringing their shot total to 10. As I said, you can't go to the locker room with less than 10 shots. And they're not going to. Oilers have tied a franchise record, according to our stats god, producer Hayden. Oilers have tied a franchise record 25 straight killed penalties. 25 straight killed penalties, guys. Hayden, we need you to be tweeting this stuff for SDPN. This is great. We got to get you that login, man. Steve Dangle's Mighty Roar. Better player to not win a cup, Tavares or Pavelski? I think Pavelski right now. I will see how Tavares is at the end of his career. I think the most impressive thing about Pavelski is how good he's been. What is he, 38, 39 now? It's outrageous. And he's smart. Jeff Skinner, Jeff Ducharme, what's your problem with Jeff? You know, Steeson, that's a good question. And I don't have any particular problems with any Jeffs. Most Jeffs I've met in my life, I've really enjoyed. So it's been a pretty positive name in my life. I'm not sure. Stuart Skinner. Isaiah Wirch, don't have eyes on the game today, only doing the watch along. Well, Isaiah, here's what I'm going to tell you. The Edmonton Oilers look good. The Dallas Stars look bad. That's kind of what you need to know. Ryan Nugent-Hopkins has 2 power play goals. The first 2 Edmonton power play goals in this series. In fact, the first 2 power play goals in this series. Both Edmonton and Dallas had not scored on the power play, and now the Oilers have. Dallas, they get nothing. It's my favorite player, Jeff Tavares. Yard Sailor, stop, Adam. I'm the guy who DM'd you about the Oilers' defense being sick. See what I mean? Yeah, dude. I think the whole world is seeing what Edmonton's defense can do. I'm really, really impressed. So interesting for a team that could not play defense under Jay Woodcroft earlier this year after he instituted a new scheme. He was like, guys, this is how we're going to do it. And they were like, we're bad at that. And then Chris Knobloch's like, okay, how about we try this? We're one of the best defensive teams in the league. Jay Woodcroft's got to be watching this going, why couldn't you do that for me? Why couldn't you do that for me? I have a weird stance. I poke my butt out. He does that weird pokey butt stance thing. Steve does it the best. I'm a nice guy. Everybody likes me. No one's got a bad thing to say about Jay Woodcroft, except for how this season started for the Oilers, which is bonkers. By the way, I haven't heard his name come up a lot of head coaching jobs, and I'm kind of wondering why, because I thought he was really good. The J in Jay Woodcroft stands for Jeff. Jeff Woodcroft. Look at the chat, Jeff Woodcroft. PJ, shout out Paul Coffey. Yeah, I guess. I was a little skeptical of Paul Coffey coming in because the Oilers have this thing with the 80s guys where the owner likes to have them around. And like Wayne had to resign his position so he could go to TNT from the Oilers where he did consulting work. Anyway, Paul Coffey has done a good job. Woodcroft said he doesn't watch Oilers games since he got fired. I wouldn't either if the team I got fired from was in the Western Conference Final. That would hurt. And he's a good guy, and I'm not trying to dunk on him. Would you watch? I'd be like, I'm happy for them, but I don't think I can. If you're an F1 fan, and you're familiar with the Williams team, Claire Williams, daughter of the legendary Frank Williams, sold the team for like 150, 200 million like 4 years ago. The team's now worth like 600 or 700 million. Sting number 1. Sting number 2 is they're getting better. They were back of the pack garbage, and now they're starting to creep back into the conversation of, oh, we might be a mid-pack team. And in a few years, they want to start winning championships again. Ghetto Seguru. I'm a Flames fan and I'm okay with the Oilers winning. Hey, I'm a Leafs fan and I'm okay with the Oilers winning. Bring the cup back to Canada. It's where it belongs. And if I got to see McDavid lift a cup, I'm not going to be upset about it. Sue me. I know that there are a lot of Leaf fans who are like, nah, this is not what we want. For me, I would love to see the Leafs do that. Adam, did STP cover Waddell to Columbus? What do you think? Do you like what John Davidson is? Do you like that John Davidson is going to the background? Okay, so first off, Edwin, I appreciate the question.
And I was hearing Don Waddell to Columbus for a few weeks before Caroline was even out. And I said as much on the show. And what was interesting was Chris Johnson had such a great, that show is a gold mine. I hope you're listening to it all as much as you can, because if you really want to learn about the game, CJ just knows so much. And he was talking to Steve. Steve filled in for Julian. And he was talking about how oh my God, my brain is not working right now. How Don Waddell is more than just a general manager. He's a real business guy. And he brings a lot of business acumen to the team. And that's not to say that he's not good with player personnel. He is. But there's a lot of ancillary benefits that come with a guy like Don Waddell. And to run a successful business organization, you have to be smarter, I think, than the Blue Jackets have been. It's not like I'm against John Davidson, but I think he's had his time and he's remaining because the owner likes him. But I do feel a little bit like, dude, come on. Yeah, so I think JD needs to move to the background. I think he's had too much say on the team, and I don't think that team has had anywhere close to enough success. So I do like Don Waddell to Columbus, and look for Ken Holland to potentially join him. DC, if Stanley Cup were a giant donut instead of a trophy, how many players would it take to finish in one sitting? Well, how big's the donut? Because remember, these are hockey players. These guys burn like 12,000, 14,000 calories a day. Like, I'm not even kidding. If they're skating and skating and skating and skating, it's like what Michael Phelps was burning when he was like at peak swimming, right? These guys can crush food, crush it. You'd be shocked at how much these guys eat. And they're in incredible shape because they are constantly moving. You got to burn something. So, how big is the donut, man? It would take maybe, I would say 10 minutes, especially after they won the cup. Andrew Doris, just won another $50 on DraftKings. Got my third period bets on. Canada's top online psychic. Yeah, okay. Sierra Marlowe, welcome to the party. Late to the party, but happy to see that score. It's a big one. Turning the tables. Love you, man. Enjoying the stream a lot. Hope you do this again next playoffs, especially if the Canucks do it again. I will be doing it next playoffs. And in fact, I plan on doing it all next regular season too, if you guys will come hang out with me. I'm really, really enjoying this. I had never done these before and loving it. Now, I'm going to do a quick break, and I want to throw to a clip here. Mitch Marner, trade options from our SDP live show at Boston Pizza in Vaughan on Rutherford Road, because people keep asking. Here you go.
So, what we should be talking about tonight is the game we're about to watch. It's Dallas. It's Edmonton. It's can Edmonton stay in this series? Can they contain that Seguin, Hintz, Robertson line, which was so dominant? But what did Steve and I talk about on the way here?
The Leafs.
That's right. That's right. A lot of woos. No,
a lot of woos and several.
And the reason I called Steve is that I am fairly sure there's a player that is angling to come here. Whether or not they come here or not, I don't know. And I'm not going to say the name. I'm not spilling, but I'm getting the sense. And I said, how would they fit in? And then we got on to the track of, and this is where we get questioned so much, and I know that there will be questions in the audience tonight about it. The Mitch Marner situation, do we know anything more than what anybody else has said? Has anybody said anything that makes you go, I'm thinking this way, or I'm thinking not? Just before, I'm preempting the press conference questions that are coming later.
So let me tell you what it's like being friends with Chris Johnston. Is he doesn't give away government secrets, and it's very frustrating because I wish he would. Because, we run a company together. He does a show on our network and everything. I understand protecting whatever. The fan in me is still like, okay, but what's happening though? And I was just like, he knows where he's going. He friggin' knows where he's going. But it's one thing we learned about CJ recently is he needs several more sources to confirm information than I do. Which is why his information is correct. I heard Marner's going to play 3-on-3 next year. Saudi Steve in the building. Woo. Friggin' idiot. But yeah, we talked about like potential trades the entire way here. And well, one of the things I asked is if Marner were to be traded, would he be the best player at the time to be traded by the Leafs? Because you brought up Doug Gilmour.
That's what instantly came to my mind. But Doug was well into his 30s when the Leafs traded him.
He was back 9.
Yeah.
And where'd he go? New Jersey?
New Jersey for a couple
Where do you
years.
count Phil Kessel?
That's not a bad answer.
Not a bad answer at all.
I would say he was at the peak of his value when he got traded.
He
Never
was.
made $11 million. Or had his junior
Well, the
number
salary
in
cap
his,
was a little different.
Yeah. it
never had
was.
his junior number in his thing. I
Oh,
don't care how
stop
many
it.
cups he's got. He didn't have his junior number in his contract.
Well, okay, but one of the things, Jesse, that a lot of people have been saying is if this guy gets moved, they instantly will regret it the next year. What happened to Phil Kessel the year he got moved?
He won the Stanley Cup with the Pittsburgh Penguins.
That's right.
Yeah.
Yeah, but then what happened after that?
He won the Stanley Cup with the Pittsburgh Penguins again.
Oh,
In the first season, he probably should have won the Conn Smythe
That's
Trophy.
right.
yes.
Yeah.
That was the Sidney Crosby Revenant Conn Smythe
Yeah.
Trophy, which Phil for sure deserved, I think. And this is the thing. You have to be prepared for if you're a Leaf fan and you want change, and you should. Because what I'd really like to do is be here next year with the Leafs in the Eastern Conference Finals doing that game with you guys all at this Boston Pizza. You know what I'm saying? That's what I want.
Yeah, and we fly the green men here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And they got to watch one of our games. That's what I want. You got the budget for that? Come on, Boston Pizza. Fly them in.
So when you talk about this and you get into specific players or whatever, one of the things that you have to be prepared for is immediately the trade is going to be a loss. You're losing a great player. We got to remember what this guy is. Yeah, he makes this, and yeah,
Sick.
he doesn't that. This guy's an incredible hockey player, and whatever's coming back is not going to be that. So, are you prepared for that? Are you guys prepared for that? Okay.
Adam, why are you so down on this trade that hasn't happened? Why couldn't this be the DeMar Kawhi trade? Why can't the Leafs trade Mitch Marner and suddenly be infinitely better with the guy they get back?
The issue with it, Jesse, is I don't believe that there is a second best of his generation player available.
You're thinking too small.
I'm
He's
thinking
out
too
there.
small.
He's out there. Who knows?
Connor.
Is it Connor or is it
I
Leon?
believe in Brad Treliving. I think, like, watching what he did, everybody thought the Huberdeau trade was genius. What
Yes,
they got
they
back
did.
for Kachuk from
Yes, they
Florida.
did.
Everybody thought, wow.
And don't
you're
forget
able to do
Weegar.
that for a guy who didn't want to be in Calgary. And I feel like maybe he can work his magic again. I'm being very hopeful about this.
We may or may not have brought that up in the same conversation.
Okay, well, I wasn't there for the conversation.
You
so
should have
I don't
been.
know.
No, because like at the time, it's like, all right, you got a 115-point left winger and Mackenzie friggin' Weegar, who's extremely good. I don't think anyone thought, oh, he's going to drop off like, I don't know, 65 points.
Right.
Or whatever it was.
Yeah.
Math, numbers, tip.
Which
I don't
could
know how it
have
works.
there's many factors that led to that, including the owner interfering and hiring a coach that he shouldn't have hired and all
Mm-hmm.
that stuff. So you think, and I think if you go back and you look at, and this is not just because Jim Treliving might own the Boston Pizza IP or anything.
What?
But if you
Is
go
that
back
new
and you look-
information?
if you go back and you look at the moves that he made last summer, Jesse, kind of supports your claim because they all sort of worked out, except for Klingberg.
Except for Clint. You mean the moves he made in Toronto
Yeah.
last summer? Yeah, I think like everybody's pretty happy with what Bertuzzi did when he got going eventually during the season. Everybody loved Max Domi.
Bertuzzi? Are we
Bertuzzi, yeah.
Okay. Are we yay Domi?
Domi, yeah.
That was louder.
Klingberg, nobody thought he'd get injured.
What about
and
Reeves?
Reeves?
Are we Reeves?
Yeah, all right. He is
All
what
right.
he is.
Are we Simon Benoit?
Right?
Yeah, all
That
right.
was the loudest one.
Yeah.
We're such a weird fan base, dude.
Oh, yeah.
We are the weirdest, most damaged.
Guy who was supposed to be bad but wasn't. Woo! That could be me.
Yeah. Eat it, Dom.
You were saying, Jesse.
Yeah, sorry.
I think if you look at the players who've gone through Calgary and then not wanted to stay there, that's not Treliving's fault. The fact that they didn't like their head coach, that they had the worst head coach ever, and they didn't like the market and that he couldn't make them stick around, it doesn't mean he didn't compile a good collection of players, which I think he can do in Toronto in a market where people actually want to play.
Right. Well, ooh.
Wow.
Throwing
Wow.
barbs at Calgary.
I don't
Wow.
know. Ask Matthew Tkachuk and Johnny Gaudreau what they think.
No, I think Brad Treliving liked it
And Adam
better
Fox.
when he was playing, when he was the GM in the real NHL.
All right. What do we think? What do we think? Are we trading Mitch? Are we trading one of the best players to ever play for the franchise and somehow getting better? I don't know, guys. I just don't know. I think it has to happen. I won't lie to you. When it does happen, I'll be good with it, but I'll also be sad. How can you be happy when a good player leaves? But good players leave. And sometimes you have to make tough decisions and hope that they work out. Just throwing it out there. I don't know. Listen, if anything, and you're not a Leaf fan, and you're watching this, and you're going, hey, Mitch Marner, you guys have another reason to laugh at us. If you're not a Leaf fan, you're watching this, and you're like, wow, the Leafs are going to trade Mitch Marner. That won't work out, and it doesn't. You just laugh at us. Think of how much laughing you'll get to do at the expense of the Leafs. Won't that feel good? Samuel Duplessis, Mitch Marner to the real NHL? That's good. That's funny. You're funny. You're on one tonight. I won't mind it. You need more likes, Jeff Wylde. I know, Jeff Skinner. I keep calling him Jeff Skinner. Hank Barber. No, they're running it all back. New coach solves everything. Yeah, that's what they said with Babcock, too, when he left. Jeff Marner to the real NHL. Let's confirm this stuff. Yo, Gripper Nation, you guys are a funny bunch. It's a funny group here. I don't control the chat. It's all you. You guys are taking this in your direction. Just throwing that out there. Adam, is Dallas in the real NHL? Oh, at other Adam, because that's from Adam Yoss or Joss. Adam Joss or Yoss? I'm not sure. I think Dallas would count, weirdly enough, as the real NHL. I think that if you are a Dallas, if you're a coach in Dallas, there's being the Dallas Stars head coach, which is a high pressure situation, and then there's being the Dallas Cowboys coach, which is national spotlight every week. Stephen A. Smith is mentioning your name Monday morning. And he's wearing a cowboy hat and he's smoking a cigar and he's laughing. So that, yeah, I would say that's the quote unquote real NHL. But that doesn't diminish Dallas as a market. That's why it's such an insulting quote. Dallas is a market on the upswing, man. They've been growing for years. They've got hardcore fans. How embarrassing for coaches to talk like that. Bunch of losers. Ishan, can we get a gripper check? Listen, you know what the rules are. Will we see the grippers before the end of the playoffs? I don't know. It's only tonight, potentially Sunday. Well, definitely Sunday, and then potentially Tuesday, and then that's it. Dave Glatz, Martyr to Vegas for Theodore, Whitecloud, and a first. I don't hate it. Especially I love Shea Theodore, but here's the thing. Then you bring Shea Theodore. He's got 1 year left, and you got to re-sign him. And he's going to make $1 billion. That's fine, though. Happy to pay that guy. Gravely Diggs. Evening, Adam. I'm listening from Angkor in the Khmer Empire tonight. Hey, I got you. Watched them elephant jousting earlier today. I don't know if Gravely's right or not. I don't believe elephant jousting has happened for several centuries. But, you never know. Kaylor Yamamoto. Oh, wait, here we go. Jared Brussel. I agree Toronto isn't the real NHL. Name one other franchise in any other league that has a national media like Sportsnet that has several shows that speak on the Leafs alone and has a podcast network like SDPN. Well, first off, Jared, SDPN is not just Leafs, and you know that. And Sportsnet is definitely not just Leafs. Specifically, they try not to do Leafs as much as possible. And they specifically try to hire people that are anti-Leafs. And it's not because anybody's bad. They're all really good. They're a fantastic on-air talent team. But they're very conscious at Sportsnet about coming across as too Toronto Maple Leaf centric. Now, the reality is the Toronto Maple Leafs make the most money. They have the most fans. They have the biggest market. But Jared,
I encourage you to watch any other sport. You asked me to name one other sport that has an entire sports network devoted to it. Here it is: ESPN and the Los Angeles Lakers. Done. First Take. Show me an episode of First Take during the NBA season where they're not talking about the Lakers. Regular season, when are they not talking about the Lakers? If the Lakers are good, it's a story. Will they win? If the Lakers are bad, it's a story. Who gets traded and who is LeBron firing? It's the Lakers all day. You want to do the football version of it? Dallas Cowboys. I'm a Steeler fan. I still want to know how the Cowboys are doing, because if they're actually winning, well, they won't get it done in the playoffs. And if they're losing, hilarious. It's just the way it is. Luke Mallet. Where's Luke? Forget Boston Pizza in New Brunswick. Pizza Delight is where you want to be. Yo, shout out to the East Coast and Pizza Delight. Love a good Pizza Delight run. It is so good. There were Pizza Delights here in Toronto. I don't know if there still are. But I remember my friend's hockey team was sponsored by Pizza Delight. Pizza Delight. There's one in Walkerton? Penetang? Yeah, so there are Pizza Delights. They're just not Toronto area. Yeah. SDPN. Who wore the crown next season? Get ready for Who Wore the Grippers. Yo. History Corner Challenge. Cast NHLers for the Iliad movie. East is Greece. West is Troy. Agamemnon, Achilles, Ulysses, Priam, Hector, and Paris. Oh, my God. All right, I'll be real quick here. East is Greece. West is Troy. So for Troy, Hector and Paris are McDavid, Draisaitl. Agamemnon is Brad Marchand. Achilles he's sort of a tortured hero. Who's torn their Achilles? Erik Karlsson. You like that? And Ulysses, I'm given to Ulysses, traveler, around the world. Ulysses. Oh! Stankoven with a shot. Good save by Stuart Skinner. That's right. Ulysses. I'll give it to Panarin. Who would you say? Would you say Hayden? Corey Perry, because he's been everywhere. Yeah, Ulysses is Corey Perry. There you go. Boom. Done. Damn, that was an intense question. I like that. Pierre-Luc Dubois, me. 17:32 left in the third. Evan Bouchard breaking the puck out. I like this fourth line for Edmonton. I think they do good things. They don't get a lot of ice time, but they're good on special teams. They matter. Just keep saying Agamemnon. I struggle with Agamemnon. Oh. Oiler taken down. No penalty. And there shouldn't have been. And they have Leafs Talk podcast on Sportsnet. Yes, but 32 Thoughts is also on Sportsnet. Guys. They stole Steve's LFRs on Sportsnet. They did? I don't think they did. Palat, okay, Shea Andres Oak says Palat should be involved in that. That's a good question. Domi would be a good one for Ulysses. That's good because he has played on a few teams. I like that. What happened to Carrick? I don't know. What team has the best remaining fourth line? Ooh. Man. Nothing will beat the Teddy Blugler line for me. I really love those guys, him and Di Giuseppe for Vancouver, but they're not remaining. I'll say Florida. Although I have to give Edmonton a ton of credit here. Their fourth line's been great. Dallas's fourth line looked good for the first couple of games, and they've just kind of been non-factors since. And like Delandry is back in, and Fax is sitting because of that. Oh, what a save by Skinner! Oh, wow, Stuart Skinner, and I remembered his name. Damn it! Dallas made a great play around the net, cross ice pass. Stuart Skinner post to post. I believe he got that with his gloves, baby. Look at Sportsnet's podcast, 3 different ones, spend a minimum of half their time on the Leafs. Kipper and Bourne, 32 Thoughts on Leafs Talk. Okay, well, Kipper and Bourne are a radio show in Toronto. What are they supposed to talk about? Kipper was a Leaf. Bourne was raised here. The Kipper and Bourne is a Fan 590 show that they simulcast on Sportsnet. And they simulcast it because Canadian media is struggling. And obviously they should simulcast it. It's a great show. Canadian media is struggling, and they don't run anything else at that time. So they give it more exposure. And yes, it's on a national thing. But yeah, Kipper and Bourne is a radio show in Toronto. That's its first and primary goal. Of course they're going to talk Leafs. And Leafs, 32 Thoughts on Leafs Talk. 32 Thoughts talks about all the teams. They do. I give Jeff and Elliott credit for being as balanced as they possibly can be. Because I know that in Canada, the Leafs do suck up a lot of oxygen. Listen, you can debate with me all you want about you call Sportsnet a Leafs network. They're not. They're not. They are as much a because who's got the local? They got the local at Vancouver games. They got the local Edmonton games. And I believe, so TSN has Winnipeg, Ottawa, Montreal, and then I think Sportsnet has Calgary, Edmonton, Vancouver, right? Those are the local broadcasts, and then Toronto games are not local. So yeah, no, I think that both networks do their very, very best to be West and East. And it's impossible, guys. Like, at the end of the day, you go down to the States, people whine and complain about the New York Knicks or the New York Yankees or the Los Angeles Dodgers or the Los Angeles Lakers, the Miami Heat or the Dallas Cowboys getting the line share. Look at the Green Bay Packers. They get a ton of play, and it's Green Bay. Some teams just have that. The Leafs are that, and you get to laugh at us. And by the way, it's hilarious to hear Edmonton fans complain about lack of media coverage, because Edmonton has, and this is a true stat, more radio stations per capita than anywhere else in this country, and a lot of them are Oilers coverage. You guys have Oilers Nation. You've got, I think, 1260 is it? It's still a sports station, right? Or 1440 is the new sports station. Dude, there's a lot of Oilers talk. Oh, what a save! Another great one by Stuart Skinner. Wow. Whiskey Kyle 0800. Any tips for beard etiquette? Mine is itchy, Adam. I would get a Manscaped kit, and it comes with a beard oil, and that would probably help. Jesse would be able to tell you more about beards. I am a patchy beard grower. Leafs Talk is LFR, but Leafs version. Oilers Nation is YouTube. Yes, what's the difference? So are we. I'm YouTube. We're media. Still media. And Edmonton has 630 Chad. Yeah. Adam, should the Leafs sign goalie Michael Simpson this summer? 2-time OHL Cup winner, a Gretzky 99 award recipient, and quite possibly a Memorial Cup champion in the near future. Warrior Womp, I sure. Does he want to sign here? I don't know. I don't know what they want to do. Adam, I'm jealous of your flow. I'm 31 and losing my hair for 9 years. What's your damn secret? Man. So, okay, you're not going to like this, but male pattern baldness shows up in your life 2 times. It's either, if it's going to hit you, it hits you in your early 20s or your mid to late 50s. So the only way to avoid is to transplant, my friend. Turkey is calling. Yeah. Shayla, between you and Steve, who grows a better beard? Steve. Hands down, no question. Steve's got a little salt and pepper in his beard, too. It's kind of handsome. But Jesse, by far, grows the best beard. He also knows how to take care of it. It's perfectly trimmed and it looks good. I don't know what I'm doing. Would you do Marner for Besser and Fronik? Dude, I like both of those players. Besser rules. That's interesting. I like both of those players. Melissa, Adam, are you excited for Jesse's stream? You mean the one where Jesse, as a multiple-time general manager, might actually win the Stanley Cup as general manager of the Leafs? Yes. I think that's going down next Tuesday, by the way. As for the itchy beard, it's common. This is from Wizard Man. Try different beard shampoos and get a good beard oil to help the dryness. Yeah. 13:48 left in the third period. Dallas has had a better period, I'd say, this period than the other two have been. Although, to be honest, that's not saying. Jared P., if the Panthers win tomorrow, is it the first 6-game sweep you've ever seen? What? I guess because Panthers have been the better team in every game in the series. Yeah, probably. That's a good point. I like that. Glenn W., how old is Marner? I think he's 26 or 27. Action Jackson, I hate the Stars. Isaiah Wirch, let's go Oilers. Let's go Oilers. Mechanized Chaos, I love that we're all just here vibing. Yeah. Listen, there are professional announcers who are going to be calling the game. We're watching the game together. This is supposed to be a hangout. I am not a replacement for Craig Simpson and Chris Cuthbert. I am vibes, baby. I am vibes. Adam, out of the three of you, who do you think would be the most successful coach, like in the National Hockey League? That's a good question. I think Jesse, because he's the calmest. He'd be able to keep his head in tough situations better than Steve and I would. Although, man, wouldn't it be fun to see a Steve Dangle meltdown on the bench, just screaming at the refs? Eric Furlat and Wes McCauley would have not good things to say Steve under their breath. We'll put it that way. Steve would be the kind of guy complaining to the refs all the time. Me, I think I'd just be overmatched. I think I'd be one of those like one and done coaches where it's like, well, that was a huge mistake. Let's never do that again. You know, like one of those Oilers coaches that lasted a season or one of those Buffalo coaches that lasted a season. Steve would get ejected within 5 minutes. Yeah, not untrue. Kipper and Bourne had a complaint to the CRTC because they talked about the Leafs a few times in the national hour. Did they actually? Oh my God. I've had CRTC complaints leveled against me too, actually. Do you want to know what my CRTC complaint was? Because if you're on broadcast in Canada, there's something called the Canadian Radio and Television Commission, and you can lodge complaints if you find the content to be of ill repute, shall we say, swearing or anything bad or whatever. And I, as a person of British descent, said that British food was pretty easy. All you had to do was boil it and turn it gray, as a joke on Virgin Radio one morning. And a British person complained to the CRTC that I was xenophobic against British people. Remember, I'm British heritage, obviously. Anyway, I thought that was hilarious. And it was unfortunate for my boss because she had to write a whole response to it because you have to write a response to. Anyway, it was just a harmless joke. But yeah, that's my CRTC complaint. The CRTC doesn't govern the internet yet, and they won't. They won't. They can barely govern themselves. Yeah, somebody said this game's a snoozer. Yeah, it's a bit of a snoozer in the third here. 10:36 left to go. I remember Jax, my co-host at Virgin Radio, got a CRTC complaint as well. And hers was about, we were talking about when we were bad as kids or something like that. And she's like, I shoplifted once. And we're like, ooh, what did you shoplift? And she's like, a banana. And then somebody complained to the CRTC that she had encouraged young kids to shoplift. Yeah, it's just, Again, you're not going to get suspended for that, but people have been suspended by the CRTC when they've gone too far. Pretty funny, eh? Here we go. Edmonton 2-on-1. McLeod to Perry. Back to nobody. Woo! 10 minutes to go in the third period. That was a bad play, and Corey Perry should have shot. Andrew Doris, I find this content gregarious? I haven't read that one. Outrageous and the most public of my many humiliations. I'm sorry, guys. Egregious? Is that how you spell egregious? Okay, maybe it's egregious. A couple of super chats from this Donnie. If you can picture Steve as a coach from the bench, if you're a goaltender, Steve would be a good goaltender coach. Just stay in the goal if you're a goaltender. I like British food, to be fair, but I am British, so I'm biased. Yo, I like British food too, but British food, and Brits make fun of it, is a lot of deep fried and delicious and baked. Nobody, like maybe the French, but like British and French desserts are like British, like good meat pie in England's amazing. Bangers and mash to this day, I think is my favorite meal. I love bangers and mash. It's the best. Little bubble and squeak as well. Any Brits in here had a little bubble and squeak? Delicious. Yeah. English breakfast is not good. I'm sorry. What's wrong with some eggs, bacon, toast, tomatoes, blood pudding, and beans, guys? I'll be honest with you. Beans and toast, as a person of British descent, I don't get it. Steve's wife is Scottish and was born in Scotland and loves a good beans on toast. Don't get it. I like beans, but I would never go out and be like, I need beans. I'm craving beans. Hillforther Studios, if you had wizard-like powers to trade Martin for anyone on the Oilers other than McDavid and Draisaitl, who'd you take? Are you reclaiming Hyman? I would take. I need to get a couple. So I'm taking Hyman, and I'm taking Ekholm. Sorry, Oilers, they're mine now. Vander Kane with a good shot there on Ottinger. Ottinger has it, no question. Yeah, I would take Nuge and I would take Ekholm. And the reason I wouldn't take Hyman is that I couldn't bear to split up Hyman and McDavid. I want Zach Hyman to get another 50-goal season. And I think the Leafs need another center and another center to replace or move Tavares down the lineup. And Hyman is not the center that they need. Nuge is. So that's what I would say. Nuge can play that. Trinka 2.0. Good baked beans are... Okay, I have never had baked beans from anything other than a can. Is there a way to make baked beans? Because I've never made them. Love baked beans on toast with some cheese. Marmite is runny Vegemite. I've never had Vegemite either. Scotch eggs are amazing when done right. If they're not dry, Scotch eggs are outrageous. They're so good. You're really right on that. Are deviled eggs British? Because I love a good deviled egg too. British food is good if you have some salt. You know what's good? Do you guys know the story? Do you know what an India Pale Ale is? Like, you've seen the Alexander Keith commercials, I'm sure. India Pale Ale was the first beer that didn't spoil on its way from Britain to India. One of the things that happened when the Brits were colonizing India is they couldn't They couldn't get the hops and they couldn't brew the beer. So they were missing beer, and so India Pale Ale was and I forget what they do to it. But India Pale Ale was the only beer that made it to India, and that's why it's called India Pale Ale. And I love a good India Pale Ale. I think they're really good. A lot of IPAs, though, I gotta say, have a crappy aftertaste, and only the good ones don't. And I think if you like IPAs and you pretend that they don't have a crappy aftertaste, most of them, you're lying to yourself. Most IPAs are garbage, but the good ones are elite. Most of those like small IPAs out there, people are like, oh, you're going to try it. It's so great. It's not. It's not that great. It's not that great. We're lying to ourselves. The craft brew scene, bleh. Except for a few. And then you're like, damn, this is the best beer I've ever had. Hey, shout out to everybody. I'd like to know, with 7 minutes and 30 seconds to go, where are we watching from tonight? Where are we watching from? Gotta know. Gotta know. 7:20 left in the third period. Jay's game apparently is not finished yet. How crazy is that? We got Toledo, Ohio. We got Tampa. We got Columbia, Missouri, Buffalo, Sydney, Nova Scotia, Bowmanville, the Ville of Man. That's right. Chile, Sarasota, Grand Prairie, Alberta. Shout out to the Rigs, baby. GP, let's go. Edmonton, Ottawa via Edmonton. I don't know what that means. Alexander Keiths is completely overrated. I love Alexander Keiths. How dare you? I don't know why they don't advertise anymore. It's weird. They used to be like super advertisers. Stettler, Alberta. I have been there. Tillsonburg. I've been there too. Vancouver Island. Brno, Czechia. Yes. Love Czechia. Congratulations on your world championship, by the way. Victoria, BC. Winter Haven. Newmarket, Ontario. Home of who? That's right. The GOAT, Connor McDavid. New Jersey, a.k.a. the real NHL. Yeah, I bet you felt good about that clip too. Slippery Rock, PA. Coquitlam, BC, Nanaimo, BC, watching from Birmingham, Alabama. Catherine, welcome to the stream. Moscow, Ontario. There's also a Moscow, Idaho. Fellow Gripper in Edmonton. Let's go. I moved from Edmonton, Ottawa last year. Well, there you go. Palmdale, California, USA. Alaska, Siam. Gravely, I don't believe you. Gravely, I do not believe that you have given me a correct where you are. If the Jays... Sedin Magic 15. If the Jays could hit a beach ball, it would have been over a long time ago. I know. The Jays, boy, their offense stinks. Michael, listening on Coruscant. No, you're not. The whole planet's a city. How could you possibly find me? Thornhill, Ontario. Granville Street. Home of Granville Street Brewery. Delicious beer. I love their winter ale. Used to drink that with Steve and our original producer, Chris, all the time. It's like a very... Oh, and the Dallas Stars score. And by the way, everybody that said it would be the Johnson Staykoven line that would get it going, you were absolutely on the money. Dallas is in the game, and we might actually have a little bit of, unlike British food, a little bit of seasoning, a little bit of spice. I'm kidding, for all you curry lovers. Curry is delicious. Yeah, that is a surprise, but also kind of makes sense. They've been a great line. Nice redirect by Johnson there. Your boy Stuart Skinner doesn't really have a chance on that. You need Kulak to be covering Johnson there. You need him to be tight. Like, he's on him. He's there, but what are you doing? Tie him up. Grand Rapids, Michigan, home of the Grippers. The Grippins. Ha ha, that's good. Sierra Marlowe. Is it Arrakis spice or Kessel spice? Arrakis spice, the kind that gets you all freaky and turns your eyes super weird blue. Oh, David Schneider just hit a home run. Walk-off bomb for the Stash. And the Blue Jays, mercifully, have won a game. All right, let's see if Dallas can get another goal here. Let's see if Dallas can get another goal, guys. Windsor, Ontario. I'm split between the Leafs, Habs, and Wings fans. Yes, you are. Which team did you pick? 4:53 left in the third period. Let's see. Oh, here we go. Ooh. Hyman deep. Again, Edmonton's going to do this. If they're going to win this game and they're not going to allow any other goals, they're just not going to allow Dallas into their zone. They're going to break everything. See what they just did to Thomas Harley there. Just get your stick, mess him up, back into Ottinger. They've done this 3-4 times in a row over the last 40 seconds. And they're just going to keep doing it. They did it last game to shut the Dallas Stars down. If you can't gain the zone, it's hard to score a goal. Nice little block there on the Heiskanen shot. Heiskanen keeps it in. Kulak. The Johnston, Ben. Oh, no. Johnston's out there with Sagan. I don't know if that's a mid-change or something, but Wyatt Johnson is back out there. I don't know who else is with him because I can only see Heiskanen up there against Evander Kane. Adam Henrique out. Thomas Harley with a nice little move. Back to Stankoven? I think so. Sagan with a shot. It is blocked. The ozone pressure for the Dallas Stars is at 45 seconds, but none of that really was a shot. That's the thing. The Oilers are doing a great job. The Oilers are doing a great job breaking this up. By the way, we're at 1,000 people, ladies and gentlemen. 1,000 people watching this on a Friday night. You could have been anywhere, but you're here with us. And I appreciate it. 3:13 left in the third period. All right. When will Ottinger get pulled? There comes Chris Tanev, whose foot was in a boot earlier. He's now skating. Amazing. These guys, they're nuts. Broberg's out there. That's a nice little tip of the cap from the coach. 2-on-1 Edmonton. Hyman can't get the puck over. Ooh, it almost didn't matter. That put Ottinger out of position. McLeod almost distracted Ottinger enough that Hyman could have had a goal there, and it just did not go in. 25-19 of the shots, 2 minutes and 30 seconds to go. Dallas looking for that second goal, and they just iced the puck. There go the Oilers again, breaking plays up in the neutral zone. A little bit of frustration, I think, from Wyatt Johnson. They're just not letting things through. They're not letting things through. Did you say foot in a boot? Oh, no. Stop it, guys. Gripper Nation. Always talking about the feet. Action Jackson. Fack Dallas. F-A-W-K, by the way. Fwak. I mean, who's saying that? Aaron Grace. Hopefully we can get some chaos now that I'm here. Aaron, I too am hoping for chaos, although I have to give Edmonton full credit. They've played great. Nuge. Nice little floater in. McDavid just couldn't get a stick on it to redirect. Hyman with a wraparound attempt. Dallas breaks that up. Ekholm down deep. Two minutes left to go. Dallas has an empty net, and I believe either that was an offside or I think it was an offside. Julian Nikolov, goalie pulls are the dumbest thing ever. You're giving your opponent a free goal every time you forfeit the game. No, that's not true. First off, not true. Second, you're losing anyway. It's not like you're doing that when you're tied. You're losing the game anyway. So who cares if they score? All you care about is you scoring. That's how you got to look at it. Tanev said, I'm getting these grippers out, said PJ. I like that. VGK Jameson. I think Dallas is about to smell the agony of defeat. Defeat. You know, because hashtag Gripper Nation. Shea Andres Oak. That's what good defense does. They got one job. We are the nation of Gripper. Lunatic man. Yes, you are. Ghetto Seguru. I hate Grippers. Whoa. Ghetto. What are you talking about? This is Gripper Nation HQ. All right, here we go. 6-on-5 Dallas.
Oh, baby. Oh, Heiskanen can't hold the line. Oh, they won the face-off and he couldn't hold it. Oh, that sucks. That's going to cost him 15, 20 seconds minimum. Oh, you got to hold the line on that one, Miro. Rupe, who's been a nice little jolt for the Stars since he came back. Jamie Benn down deep. There's Matt. I think that's Matt Duchene. No, that's Tyler Seguin. Rupe Hintz. Seguin went off Cece. Cody Cece's out there. He gives the puck a little bit back to Ben. That's not great. You don't like that. Stankoven along the line. Whoop! Nice little block by Darnell Nurse. Chris Knobloch goes back to the worst pairing of his entire team this entire playoffs, CC Nurse. Some head coaches, man, you got to take their toys away. CC gave the puck away already. That's not the defense pair you put out there right now. I don't care who you got. Tired bench, that's not it. Not that it's going to matter. 45 seconds to go here. Very hard for Dallas to get 2 goals. Jamie Benn, though, is going to take a shot. Nice little tip. Stuart skitters along the post to grab it. CC Nurse ain't it. Ain't it. 30 seconds to go. Janmark gets it out. Damn. Wow, you can see Dallas Stars fans just leaving. Yeah. They didn't show up for their team, and here we go. We're getting an empty netter. Oh, how did you miss that? Oh. Game over, ladies and gentlemen. The Edmonton Oilers are one win away from the Stanley Cup mother effing finals. Are you kidding me? The Edmonton Oilers, 1 win from now, could be making their 8th Stanley Cup Finals appearance, first since 2006, and what a magical run that was. Guys, the Edmonton Oilers, they're here. Ryan Nugent-Hopkins, 2 power play goals. Phil Broberg, big goal. Guys, Edmonton could be going to the finals here. Is it going to be? It smells and feels a little like Edmonton, Florida, doesn't it? Not just because they're both up, but the way the Oilers have played the last couple games, holy smokes! And the way the Panthers have played literally all series. If it wasn't for Shesterkin, that series would be done. Guys, if you're an Oiler fan, are you excited or are you nervous? You should be excited tonight. You should be celebrating tonight. Be nervous tomorrow. Be very nervous Sunday. It's just part of being a fan. But tonight, you got to be in on this. 12 creations. Since the Leafs are out, I'm on this Go Team Canada. Yo, I got to tell you, man, I am too. I want to see the Oilers in the finals. I want to see it happen. Canadian team in the finals. Let's go. Let's go. Cats Oilers would be a sick final. It would be good. It would be good. As a Leaf fan, I'm very happy for Edmonton. I love seeing Leaf fans say that. That's what it should be. I know, listen, okay, maybe it shouldn't be that. But there's got to be a little bit of, come on, go Canada. And plus, Connor McDavid, pride of Newmarket. As a Leaf fan, you can get behind that. I just don't like Dallas, and I want McDavid to win a cup. Play La Bamba. I can't play La Bamba. I can't play anything. Not allowed to. I don't have the rights. I Oilers fan, and I can and it feels great. Can confirm. Chelsea, I'm thrilled for you, Chelsea. That's so great. No Joe, no glow. Wake up, Pavelski. Not been a big factor in this series. If Edmonton makes the finals, Canada should unite like when the Raptors made the finals. Well, the problem is that the Raptors are the only team in the country, and so it's easier to do. But I would say, as a Leaf fan, I've told you this before, I would be thrilled for them. I really would. And then I would want the Leafs to do it because I'd be insanely jealous. I'd be thrilled for you, but I'd be extremely jealous. Okay? I'd be really jealous. Let's go, Mickey D. Let's go, Leafs. But since it can't be the Leafs, let's go, Canadian team. Don't the Leafs hate the Oilers? Do the Leafs hate the Oilers? I don't know if there's like a rivalry there. Listen, if the Leafs are playing the Oilers, of course I hate the Oilers. But really only when the Leafs play the Oilers do I hate the Oilers. Otherwise, the Oilers are a pretty fun team to watch. If you like just watching hockey, the Oilers are always a good bet.
Adam doesn't know how to play the La Bamba meme. I don't have the La Bamba meme. That's Jesse. Most people supported the Flames in 04, so I can support the Oilers. Yeah, I remember that. I supported the Flames in 04 too. And I supported the Oilers in 06. Grip Nation, you all rock. Yes, you do. Grip Nation rules. Grippers. All right, ladies and gentlemen, I'll see you Sunday night, where the Edmonton Oilers, if they win, will go to the Stanley Cup Finals, and that will conclude my run in the playoffs. Can they go into Dallas, can they come back to Edmonton and win at home? And imagine the celebration on White Avenue if the Edmonton Oilers go to the Stanley Cup Finals and they do it at home. Oh, baby. Oh, baby. So, listen, I hope you guys have a fantastic one. I'm going to go up to a cottage now, celebrate my daughter's birthday all weekend, get covered in unicorns and pink glitter, and then I'm going to come back Sunday night, and I'm going to join you here, and I hope you'll join me. Have a good one, guys. Love you all. Safe weekend. Let's go Oilers.